Okay, Shalom, giving all praise and glory to the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for another day closer to the kingdom, another day He allowed us to see the real, those that are real. Oh, yeah, giving Him all praise and glory. Can't praise Him enough. We looking at a world at war. And, it's going into a lot of how we as the Israelites, we at war, first and foremost, with ourselves, personally, and then outside of personally, dealing with what we deal with each other and how we deal with each other and how fast we can fall out of love with each other, and it's sad because that's a spirit, and that's what part of the curses, that's what it's talking about, how we will be as a people, and fits nobody but us when you read Deuteronomy 28th chapter. So it's very important that we as a people, you know check ourselves, do a self-examination of ourselves first and foremost, because we have to love, and love's an action word. It's not just something that you say, it's something that's got to come with action. And that's the second greatest commandment: love thy neighbor as thyself. So how you feel about yourself is how you treat someone else. So a lot of people, they have attitude because they're not really satisfied with themselves. And in these last days, this is what they're stirring up, man. They're telling what they're spraying you with to make you feel a certain way, the way you feel. Wouldn't even know it because you ain't thought about it. You don't know the wiles of the devil. But when you're in the spirit, to know what the scripture said it would be doing in these last days, anything. When I say anything, I mean anything and everything can go down. And it is going down while we at war. It's prophesied about war, and here we are now in it. And those that don't see it, then you got to come out of that hole you in. For real, for real. Um, As always, I'm starting with Colossians 3 and 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Shema Mashiach Yahushai. Giving thanks to the Most High power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, who was Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Those 12 tribes. That's what the Most High said he's the power of. If you're not of those 12 tribes of Israel, then he's not your power. You know, he's only the power of Abraham, who had a son named Isaac, who had a son named Jacob, who became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Those 12 tribes I just named. So it's very important that we see this and understand how important it is to, first and foremost, tap into the Most High. A lot of people, they forget the order. I mean, you've been programmed a certain way, say whatever. Been programmed a certain way that when you read this Bible, a lot of y'all looking for yourself. First and foremost, you read it, oh, there's me right there. Let's talk about Israel. Let's talk about me. That's me right there. Or they're looking at what it is that the Bible speaks of. Even other nations, I'm not going back and forth with somebody right now. You know, I said, what nation are you? Going back and forth with me with Christian insanity. They said they're human. Human means monster. But who knows that? They got you thinking human means just a person. No, human means monster, monster beings. So these are the things I'm saying that people haven't really did enough, research to find out what they're really saying and what they really believe. Never forget this. 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man, Salakia, is a Mashiach Yahushai. And the head of the woman is the man. And the head of a Mashiach is the Most High. So when you forget that order, especially reading the Bible, and you're looking for yourself, you got to look at, you done cancel him out. Who? The Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. They be writing the scriptures. And you can read these scriptures and think that there's no spell or no witchcraft in this earth, sorceries in this earth, and you miss it. Well, you got to read every word of the Most High. You got to read it slow, because some things, like I say, I'm exposing some things have been added in there, and I got scriptures to show you that they took out. Straight up, they took them out. But if you don't look at, they took scriptures out, do you think they ain't put something in? Oh, yeah. That's why Proverbs 30:5 says, every word of the Most High, if it's from the Most High, is pure. He is a shield, the protector of them that put their trust in him. But in that trust, dealing with faith in him. So no matter what goes down, when you go into yourself so much and forget about him in the order I just named, then you're in sin. And you're gonna find yourself dealing with these angels that's on this earth, ready for the vengeance of the Most High. Trust me. I'm just a messenger. I've seen it so many times. I got a case scenario here, case scenario there, case scenario there. Who really gonna look at what it is that we're supposed to be dealing with and bringing them first? Most High name is jealous. And we get caught up in our own self. Like that's what I was dealing with, that war, that world at war with ourselves first and foremost. We got to come out of that. That's why the Most High said, whatever you do, you take cheerfully. You got to look at that, because that's spiritual. And the only way you could do that is not get off of your emotions, get off your feelings and stuff. I don't care about no feelings. He don't have no respect to persons for none of us. Tell me the Most High got respect to persons of you. If thou will. The Most High got to respect me. Are you serious? You don't care about none of us. We ain't doing what we're supposed to do. And if you doing what you're supposed to do, it still don't matter to him. How about that? He took the righteous and the wicked into captivity, slavery, and bondage. That's who I serve. I don't know who y'all serve. That's why it says, so fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power. For real, for real. It's like we got to really look at this, because it's a lot of things that have worked against us because we worked against the Most High. And you read the Bible and you're looking for him. You've been trying to look for Israel. They say, go to my people, Israel. Israel, there I am right there. There I am right there. There I am right there. And so you get caught up in this world. Look, this world, straight up, it's got to be destroyed, and it's going to be destroyed, as Most High said, because, look, 2 Ezra 8:50. I can't bring it out enough. For many great miseries, 2 Ezra 8:50, for many great miseries to be done to them that are in the latter times shall dwell in the world. Why? Because they have walked in great pride. Man, pride is something that you're looking at is real scary. And especially when people don't realize they have it, and they deal with the feelings, they deal with emotions and the way you really don't deal with whatever the Most High gives you cheerfully. Take cheerfully. That's spiritual. So if you can really look at doing that and practice that, you'll see that life will be much better. Much, much better. That's why it says pride. And that's why misery is going to be on this earth. Because somebody prideful. You can't tell me what to do. I'll do whatever I want to do. Okay, that's pride. Most High is a man of war. And that's why you see wars in this earth. That's him. He the one ruling the kingdom of men. He the one got everything set up that, hey, it's going to be just like he said it's going to be. Working toward it. He said he's going to drive to the Euphrates River. Isn't it dry enough? To bring forth the kings of the east into the valley of Jehoshaphat, valley of decision. Here we are now looking at, okay, well, make it mean something different. You see it in effect, he said going to be great miseries on this earth because of great pride. And that's how people are. They're real prideful. You can't tell me what to do. Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to bring this destruction on you, because that's what it says in Wisdom of Solomon 5:7, isn't it? They say we weary ourselves, that's past tense to now, in the way of this wickedness and destruction. That's what we see on this earth, wickedness and destruction. So they in order doing what they do because they said this is what they're going to say and this is what they're doing. And the Most High made them for that day. But that pride, Ecclesiasticus 10:7, pride is hateful before the Most High and man. And in both does one commit iniquity. That's wickedness, sins. Verse 12, the beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High. You know how you depart from the Most High? When you in your mind first, and the Mashiach don't come next, and then you come. That's where we get caught up in this world, because especially here, because America's a very, 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 very prideful nation, you know, and they really look at they can control everything. And that's how our people are, you know, even though we could be down to the whatever you want to call us, man, we still have that point of I'm this, I'm that, I'm whatever it is that, you know, I can be. No humility, not enough, I'll say. That's why I say gonna be great miseries on this earth. Most High not gonna save. He ain't gonna be working with the people that are prideful, because he wants you to be humble. He want a broken and contrite spirit. When y'all rising up and y'all, you know, all going back and forth, y'all not going back and forth with the men of the Most High. Y'all going back and forth with the Most High. Because the first thing I got to think about, first thing we got to think about is the Most High. Then the Mashiach Yahushua, then us. That's not happening. Verse 12, Ecclesiastes 10:12. The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High, and his heart, which is his mind, is turned away from his maker. For pride is the beginning of sin. When you're not humble and you don't take low, like to tell you, even when you look at how we're supposed to be acting to come out of this warfare that you've been in. And some of you been in warfare all your life, and you just think that coming to the truth, you're gonna still be the same way. You're gonna be off. You're gonna find yourself in a fight with the Most High because you departing from him. And he calling you, if he call us to be in this truth and we find some other way to deal, then what is it gonna do? It's not gonna be a great look for us at all as a people. This is what it says in 2 Peter 2:20. This is the highest calling that you could be called in. To really know what this Bible is really talking about, to know the Most High, that literally he allowed us to know him, to know a Mashiach Yahushua, that literally he allow us to know him, and to know yourself as being the chosen people of the Most High and what you got to do to be acceptable to him. You know, and it's like, it's so much to learn, but how much are people really desiring to know that call themselves wanting to be in the truth? This is what it says. 2 Peter 2:20. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world, you know that pollution of the world that set up to send you straight to damnation, through the knowledge of our power and Savior of Mashiach Yahushua, they are again entangled therein. You straddling the fence. You're like, you're in the truth, but you're not really in the truth because you're dealing with your same personality. You're dealing with the same spirit. Nobody can say that knew me can say I'm the same as I was in the world right now. Nobody can say that. And it should be like with you. You got to change. It's got to be different. It is not just memorizing scriptures. It's about your whole spirit changing so that you know how you got to act as a man. No, you got to act as a woman. No, you got to act as a child. That's what it's about. Whatever the Most High made you at this time in your life could be, that's what you got to be. But you got to know how everything got to be done so that you're not dealing with these miseries because of pride that's going to happen to a lot of people in this world in the end times. He said, hey, you entangled therein, and it's your mind. If you always go back to where you was, if I always went back to where I was, I probably wouldn't be cool to a lot of people. Or whatever, you know what I mean? You either. They are entangled therein, and it's not just dealing with somebody in the world or dealing with something of that nature. When you go back And it's like, okay, why you ain't stay back there? Why I ain't stay back there in the world? How is me being the truth helping me to be closer getting to the kingdom if I was all right when I was in the world? Think about it. There again, entangled therein, that's the mentally too. Now, your past is an experience, but you can't elevate the wicked. That's against the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. That's elevating the devil. And you overcome by coming in and learning this truth. The latter end is worse with them than the beginning. You hear that? The latter end. If we always recall the world, if I recall the world compared to where I'm at in the truth, and compare that to where I'm at in the truth now, and to change and for the better and not the worse, or nope, why would I be doing what I'm doing? I might as well stay back there and do what I was doing in the world. So to have an opportunity to be in this highest calling that you could be called in and learning this truth, you can't go back. You can't even be thinking about the past or whatever, man. That's an experience that you use to compare to what you should be doing that's right, just. And what you did that was wicked, or somebody else that was wicked, and you cannot exalt the wicked else, you right there with them. You're going to die right with them. Only he said we'll get more stripes than them. That's serious. That's why I said the latter end is worse with them than the beginning. It'd been better for them, like you said, for it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness. It'd been better for you not to have known the way of righteousness. Well, we know that's why I said these words are very key, and through the spirit of definition, because of the fact of righteousness means what? Psalms 119, 172. This define righteousness. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteousness. You see? So when you looking at, you learning the commandments, and you learning how to be a certain way where you're not really going off into your pride. A lot of people are prideful and really don't understand humility, I don't think. And that's why it's going to be a lot of miseries on this earth, because of pride. And he gave us a structured way to be in the truth. If you call yourself in the truth, it's already a program already laid out straight across the board. It's just a matter of, are you going to try and bring your worldly way into the truth, which I've seen, and I've seen them come and go. It don't work. That's why I say it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness. It'd been better for them not to learn the way of how to keep the commandments of the Most High, the moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and learning of the sacrificial laws. Then, after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. And we can turn from the holy commandment delivered unto us in pride and think we are that. Or just in our emotions or feelings or whatever that we're dealing with that does not coincide with Ecclesiasticus 2 and 4. That don't coincide with this commandment. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. That deal with time. But he said, whatever you get, take cheerfully. So when you all been out of shape, that's not good for your health. I'm telling you, that's not good. It's not cool at all. Let me show you something. If I can, let's go back to 2 Peter's, the second chapter again, and verse 21. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness, been better for us not to be called in to learn the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, ceremonial laws. Hopefully all of you are knowing that. If not, you can go on this YouTube page Peace and look up, just type in going over the laws. I'm going over the laws. Then after they have known it, after you know, even not only just going back to the law of Moses, but we're learning all throughout the Bible. Like we're learning right now. He not saying, you don't see that, he don't say, maybe you could do this, maybe you could be this way, or try and be this way. No, it's direct orders, commandments that he's telling us. It said, after they have known it, have you learned the commandments and the laws of the Most High to turn from holy commandments, from the holy commandment that's delivered unto them? But it has happened unto them according to the true proverb. The dog, he called it a dog if you change like this, is turned to his own vomit again, and the soul, the nasty, filthy, nasty pig that was washed to her wallowing in the mud. Like he comparing us as a nasty pig and a dog that's eating up his vomit, and a nasty pig that's wallowing in the slop. You know, that's how he's looking at us. And that's real. This is sad because we're dealing with changing for the better. And it don't matter who it is, you got to stand for the Most High of Mashiach Yahushua in our nation. Or you ain't about it at all. You're just dealing with whatever you're dealing with. And it ain't the Most High. It ain't the Mashiach Yahushua for sure. You know. First Peter's, Peter was the head apostle. First Peter's 1:13. And this is what we got to deal with in these times. That's right here. It says, he told us, he said, wherefore gird up the loins of your mind. Be sober and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of a Mashiach Yahushua. He said, gird up your loins of your mind, the loins of your mind, the way you think in these times that we in right now, to be sober. I mean, you can't be drunk. You can't be drinking too much. You got to be focused and hope. That's your faith to the end for the grace, getting something you don't deserve to get. That's grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of a Mashiach Yahushua as obedient children, meaning doing what you're supposed to be doing that's righteous in the eyes of the Most High. Every day, every way, not getting caught up in the pride that's in this world. Because, Esau is very prideful. This is a very, very prideful nation. Straight up. I mean, he said, hey, what did he say? Who gonna bring me down? Who gonna bring me down? Nobody can bring us down. We got the strongest military, say all that, without thinking about the Most High. Not thinking about a Mashiach Yahushua, who they pretty much don't know. And all you that think they do to follow them, then you in error also. Look what they say. Obadiah 1. This is talking about Esau. Verse 3. The pride of thine heart, which is the way they think, have deceived thee, have lied to them. Thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock, they come from the Caucasus Mountains. It said, whose habitation is high. I mean, who's more higher than them? No one. That said in his heart, what he said in his mind, who shall bring me down to the ground? Who gonna bring me down? That's what they say. Who gonna bring me down to the ground? Our military is the strongest military in the world. We got everybody following whatever we say do. Like they said, take the jab. What do people do? They took it. Do this. What we do? We do it. You got to do this. What we do? We do it. Thou that exalteth thyself as the eagle. What's the sign of America? The bald eagle. What's the sign of the Romans, the Germans? The Greeks, the Russians, all of them got the bald eagle. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, got the space shuttle out there, thence will I bring thee down, said the Most High. Who they say? Who shall bring me down to the ground? What's the answer? Thence will I bring thee down. Who said it? Said the Most High. You see, so these are the things that, like I said, when you understand precept, you understand what the Bible's really talking about. It don't matter. You stand on what it is that this Bible is talking about. You learn it, you live it, you apply it in your life. That's why I said, 1 Peter 1:13. He said, wherefore gird up the loins of your mind the way you think. Be sober, be focused. Don't be drinking so much. In moderation, and hope to the end for the grace. Hope is to have faith in the Most High for the grace that, everybody talking about there in grace. Grace is for the children of Israel only. That is to be brought unto you. See, that's the future. Brought means it's going to come to us, after revelation of a Mashiach Yahushua, when he's revealed to you. He ain't revealed to everybody. Some people still calling him by a name that's an English name. Jesus' name is Yahushua. When he came and met Paul on the road to Damascus, did he say his name was Jesus? Did he speak in English? No. It's in English because we in captivity. And the majority of us speak English. That's why the Bible's written in English and all these different languages. Matter of fact, it's probably in mostly every language because it was only a few languages that they had to translate the Bible into years and years ago, I remember. That's why it's saying that. The revelation of a Mashiach Yahushua, we got to reveal him all the time, don't we? We go to Revelation 1:1, the revelation of a Mashiach Yahushua, right? Jump to verse 14. Hair wool, 15, his feet like a defined brass that burned in the furnace, so darkly like he was so dark, like he burned in the furnace. As obedient children. You hear that? Obedient children. I mean, we got to do what he say do throughout the book, Not fashioning yourself according to the former lust in your ignorance. You see, that's the past. Not fashioning yourself in a former lust, the thing that you lusted for, desired in your ignorance, not knowing, being dumb, being stupid, being in darkness, gross darkness at that. But as he which have called you, who is the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is holy. You hear that? The Most High is holy. So be ye holy in all manner of conversation. You hear that? Be holy in all manner of conversation. That's what's holy. We know that. Romans 7:12. The definition of holy. So why aren't they teaching this in the church? Since we in the New Testament. Romans 7:12. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy. The law and the commandment of the Most High wrote with his finger, and just and good. Why are they teaching this in the church? Because they saying we not under the commandment, we not under the law, but under grace. But he's telling you, wherefore the law is holy. So how they holy? Explain that one to me. They said we not under the law. I was just dealing with this Edomite, I think it is, talking about, my second side nailed the law to the cross. He died, so whatever we do wrong, he covered it. You see what I mean? This is right now. Before I came on, I was dealing with, this cat going back and forth with me about Christian insanity. And the Most High never gave the laws to them. Point blank. He gave the Bible to them so that it would come down into captivity with us. We can have it now for his servants that will come back in the last days with this truth. But he never gave it to them. That's why they don't know. That's why clearly in salvation come on this earth, power and authority come on this earth to a Most High, Mashiach, the other side of the children of Israel, they're going to say, hey, Wisdom Solomon 5:7, say we weird ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we've gone through deserts where there ain't no way, even though Mashiach says either way. So as for the way of the Most High, the Mashiach, the other side, they're going to say, we have not known it. But yet still, y'all going to follow somebody that don't know the way of the Most High, the Mashiach, the other side. You're going to follow the devil and think that you're going to come out on top. Not with the Most High, I'll tell you that. Or prove me wrong. Prove to me you can follow the devil and not follow what the Most High tells us from the scriptures, because you can back it up how the Most High told you to follow the devil and don't follow him. Because they wrote it with Satan. I mean, he showed him, I say, all the kingdoms of the world, and said all could be thine if you just what? Bow down and worship me. So everybody rolling in the world dealing with Satan, they ain't dealing with the Most High. It tells you the past, the present, the future. Come on, how you gonna roll with somebody that's dealing with Satan against the Most High, the Mashiach Abishai, when you know the result is the Mashiach Abishai gonna put all nations under his footstool, under the power of the Most High. Prove that wrong. Even King David said that in Psalms 110:1. Most High said unto my power, Mashiach Abishai, sit thee on my right hand till I make thine enemies thy footstool. That's where it's gonna go down. So it said, what for the law is holy, and the commandment holy and just and good. And that's the commandment and the law that the Most High wrote with his finger. All praise to the Most High. Shoot, y'all better understand. All praise to the Most High. So now, going back to First Peter, the head apostle, let's see what he's saying here. In verse 15. But as he which have called you, that's serious right there. Because anyone that's coming to learn what this Bible is really talking about, and that's the Most High's calling. He the one that called you, not no man. Because man be trying to say you my fruit. You ain't no man's fruit. I ain't no man's fruit. What are they at? If I'm their fruit, I ain't got nobody to call me no more. What are you at? Talk to me. What are you at? I looked around for them. It's hurtful. They ain't there no more. I don't have nobody that can say I'm their fruit. That's why I don't call you my fruit. This is what it says. But as he which have called you is holy, that's the Most High. So be ye holy in all manner of conversation. Because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy. See that? It's written, be ye holy, for I am holy. That's why the Most High told us, look, Deuteronomy 7:6. Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people. See? Unto the Most High, thy power, your power. The Most High, thy power, which is your power, have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. How special? Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. That's only if we be holy. And that's keeping his commandments. Other than that, man, you're wicked. You got 2/3 of our people that ain't good for nothing. So the Most High do the calling. He the one that called us. And then once he called, then St. John 15:16. St. John 15:16. Ye have not chosen me, Mashiach Yahushua said, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit shall remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, by Shema Mashiach Yahushua, he may give it you. These things I command you, that ye love one another. You see? It's very important. So the Most High do the calling, and he allowed Mashiach Yahushua do the choosing. Everybody, like many are called, but few are chosen. I mean, it's not for everybody. Even though you're called, that don't mean that we're chosen. Because he told us you got to endure. And he told us over here in St. John 14 and 21, he says, he that hath my commandments, he already said in verse 15, you love me, keep my commandments, right? He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, here it is that loveth me. So how do people in the church How do they form their mouth to say they love him and they say we're not under the commandments, we're not under the law? Commandments, the law, the same thing. He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me. So when you caught up in these Christian insanity religions, how can you say you love Hamashiach Yahushua? They love to say, I love Jesus. But how can they say that when they're saying we not under the commandments? Make that make sense? And they don't keep the commandments. He it is that loveth me, and he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father. So the Most High don't love them, and I will love him and will manifest myself unto him. See that? So he's going to manifest himself unto him. This ain't for everyone. This is not for everyone. For real, y'all. That's why we have to look at this for what it is. And he said, verse 23, Amasha was saying, answered and said, who unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my words. You will hear what's being said and you will keep it. You'll be cleaned up and you'll stay cleaned up. You won't be filthy. You won't be like a dog eating up his vomit. You won't be like a pig wallowing in the slop and eating out of feces and all that madness, man. That's how he look at you. If a man love me, he will keep my words and my Father will love him. And that's the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. That's why I understand how people say that the Mashiach Yahushua is the Most High. When he's saying we, isn't we more than one person in English? He said, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him. You see? That's why it's so important, man, to really know these scriptures and follow it. He said in St. John 15:3, he said, now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. But if you don't know the word and you walking in error, then how you clean? You still filthy McNasty, man. You like that dog that eating up his vomit. You like that pig that's wallowing in the mud. Going back to 1 Peter 1. A world of Israel at war. Israel is that world without end. Isaiah 45:17. Verse 16 again. Because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy. Are you looking at this or not? Leviticus 11:44. I mean, it is written. We hear it's written. Written in the Old Testament, y'all. Same Old Testament that they don't deal with. It says, Leviticus 11:44. For I am the most, and this is the chapter for the dietary laws, for you, all you that didn't know that. For I am the Most High, your power. Yours a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves. I mean, clean yourself up. My Shai just said, now you are clean through the words that I speak unto thee. Sanctify yourself, clean yourself up, and be ye, and ye shall be holy. Right? To understanding the word. For I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any matter of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. I mean, you can't eat anything. Like I said, this is a dietary law. For I, the Most High, your power, the power, I am the Most High that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt to be your power. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. You see that? So we're supposed to be holy because the Most High say he's holy. Leviticus 19, as it is written. Leviticus 19:2. Let's read 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, who we are, the 12 tribes of Israel, and say unto them, ye shall be holy. I mean, we're supposed to keep the commandments and the laws of the Most High. For I, the Most High, your power, am holy. You see? Same old. Leviticus 20:7. So that's why I said when you read the New Testament, it's only dealing with what we are always supposed to be knowing from the Old Testament. While we have to study it especially when it says, as it is written, or have you not heard? It has been said, you know, where? In the Old Testament, because that's all they had to go by was the law and the prophets. That's it. Wasn't no New Testament until approximately 325 AD in the Council of Nicaea, when wicked Constantine and his wicked people created this New Testament, of this what these are the books that's going to be canon in the Bible. And the Apocrypha was in there. They took it out. The Protestants took it out in the 1800s. So now here we are in Leviticus 20:7. Sanctify yourselves, clean yourself up, therefore, and be ye holy, for I am the most high your power. You see? And ye shall keep my statutes and do them. Not just read them, you got to do them. I am the most high which sanctify you. The most high saying he the one that sanctify, he the one that clean us up. Sanctify means to clean us up. That's why I tell you in St. John 17:17, you say, sanctify them through thy truth. That word is true. And we know the truth class is what? Psalms 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Okay? So now, let's go into some prophecies, or go into some things that will help us to look at these last days and dealing with it. The end times, I might say. Look at Isaiah, the 10th chapter, verse 1. Why standest thou afar off, O Most High? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? So why you standing afar off, O Most High? Why hidest thyself in times of trouble? And he told us, no matter what you see on this earth, that's why you have to have a relationship with the Most High, because he told us in Jeremiah 30 and 6 and 7, it said, actually now, Job 36, it said, actually now, and see whether a man does travail with child. You see a man that's having pains, like contractions when a woman having a baby. Whether do I see every man with his hands on his loins? As a woman in travail, as a woman having contractions, having a baby. And all faces are turned into paleness. It's at last, for that day is great. You hear that? That day is great. So that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. But he shall be saved out of it. But not everybody. But some of us are going to be saved out of it. Most High will, right? Desire wanted to be us. And we got to remember that there are prophecies and that spoke about concerning the things that we're looking at and what we got to go through. Some of us, but not everyone. Look at Psalm 9. We're going to start at verse 15. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made. They planted all these things against us. And it said that they're going to be thrown down in the pit that they made for us. In the net, which they hid, is their own foot taken. That trap that they didn't hid for us to fall in, their own foot gonna be taken in it. The Most High is known by the judgment which he executes. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Yeah. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget the Most High. You know the Most High. Hmm? I told you what it says, what they're going to say in salvation, when salvation is coming to Israel, in Wisdom Solomon 5 and 7. They're going to say that we weird ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we've gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, we have not known it. See, these other nations, we was in captivity like we just went through Purim. And King Ahasuerus, when he found out Esther was an Israelite, and that Haman, wicked Haman, was trying to kill her and her people, what did he do? Most High turned his mind to show us mercy and grace, y'all, and allowed us to kill our enemies that was going to kill us for 2 days. She went in there one day, she risked her whole life. Said, let the decree be flipped around. Instead of them killing us, we can kill them. He said, oh yeah, go ahead. They had the soldiers and everybody helping us. She went back in there again. The next day, said, hey, what do you want? She said, I'll give you everything to the half of the kingdom. That's how bad our women are, boy. If y'all could be that, all you got to do is just be in order. That's what it said. He said, I'll give you half the kingdom. Whatever you want, I'll give you half the kingdom. Think about that, he said. And she said, let us kill them again another day. Because they were going to kill us on the one day, 14th for the last month, the 12th month. She said, let us kill them another day. He was like, they done killed so many people. Let us kill them another day. Kill them another day. I mean, hey, the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget the Most High. And we say, as for the way of the Most High, we have not known. That's what they're going to say. As for the way of Mashiach Yahushua, we have not known it. That's why they got these fake religions that is not dealing with the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws. And if you're not going to do what the Most High said, do, how are you supposed to bring you into the kingdom with you just saying that, Mashiach Yahushua, whatever I do, he covered it? Come on, man. That's what they teach in these wicked religions and so forth. He nailed all my sins to the tree or the cross. If they say he was hung on a tree, but they say he nailed it on the cross. A cross, yeah. But the needy shall not always be forgotten. Hear that? He said the needy not going to always be forgotten. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. That's right, man. Say, rise, O Most High. That's why I say, crumb Most High. Before crumb Yasharallah. Because he going to rise, man. Who going to rise before him? We going to rise before the Most High? I don't think so. But King David said, rise, Most High. Let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Most High, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. Then he said, rest, Shalah. He's singing this. Can you imagine that? Man, there's no imagination that can really look at King David in the choir and everyone singing all these psalms, man, for what they saying. He said, arise, O Most High, come Most High. That's rise in Hebrew. Let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. That's what's coming to. Put them in fear, O Most High, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. That's it. That's right. That's why I tell you, Psalms 10 and verse 2. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. So they got devices imagined, like, we have a dietary law. So we have to more and more and more look into everything that we consume into our body. You definitely got to pray for water. You got to pray for everything. Pray over everything that you consume in your body. Don't just take it for granted. You can just, eat it. And we're supposed to pray after you eat. That's another thing that we're supposed to be doing. You pray before you eat, and you pray after you eat, the law says. But we got to work on these things, because it's very important, because it's easy to continue to follow the old man, the old woman, what we used to do. But now it's about changing. And because everything is set up against us to do opposite of what we're supposed to be doing. Then you say, well, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Then, oh, white man didn't say we're supposed to do it, so why should I do it? Y'all can say whatever. A lot of them follow whatever the white man, so-called white man, have told you to do. With no proof or nothing. Got to do it. Listen to somebody else. Yeah, that's all we are, a bunch of robots and robotees. Because they're the super part of Earth. They're the ones mainly running everything to tell you to do this and do that, whatever. The curriculum that you learned was from who? Did you go to an Israelite curriculum? We had our own university. Did you go there? No, you didn't. Why you got to sit down and learn all over again? If not, then that's why I say you got to be like a little child to really learn this. A child is innocent. A child is like a sponge. They observe things and they take in whatever their surroundings is while they become like they are. But the wicked in his pride does persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. And it's going to happen just like that. For the wicked boasts of his heart's desire. He boasts of his mind's desire. You see what he said? We're going to bring me down to the ground. And blesses the covetous whom the Most High abhorred. The covetous who the Most High hated. That's what it's saying. Desiring this, somebody see what somebody got. Oh, let me see where you get that from, man. I want to get the same thing. That's coveting. That's coveting. And the wicked, they want to have everything that somebody has, man. And control everything. Bunch of controllers. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. Who really asking about the Most High? How the Most High feel about this? How the Most High feel about that? When it come down, boom. Okay, America go hit. When it's telling you they're coming against Babylon the Great. And it's too late to learn them. It's about applying it in your life. And people are not going to be able to be told what to do because their pride. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts because he's not talked about. You going to tell me that you righteous and he ain't never come out of your mouth? You ain't concerned about more of what you can learn of him? Why you say we're in the captivity? The same reasons. That's why he said, I'm going to go to my place till we acknowledge our offense. In Hosea 5:15. And seek his face, because he turned his face away from us as the Israelites. He said in our affliction, we're going to seek him early. How much affliction we got to go through before we really look at seeking him? You read the Bible and you look at it. Let me see what's... that the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. So what make you righteous in the Most High in your thoughts? I just read it say the wicked through the pride, which is contrary to being humble, of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above, out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffers at them. Yeah. He puffers at his enemies. You better do this, better do that. Or even with us, you become an enemy because you're trying to do what's right. The wicked not going to accept you because they want to be wicked. And when you change, all of a sudden now you done kind of like this, separate yourself from a lot of people because they're not dealing with what you're dealing with. And some only followers, they're just looking at whatever it is, but they ain't really into this. They ain't really into the truth. They ain't really sacrifice. What's your sacrifice? Where your sacrifice at? Because you here learning the truth now? No. Everybody got to learn. Everybody did that. They don't support. They don't do nothing but just sit here and get what they can get. I remember I've been online for over 30-something years, and somebody said, "Oh, what's up, Priest Shalom? Hey, man, just want to say Shalom. been online for 2 years listening. Just spoke. Like some of you, I don't know who's online, but it is what it is. 2 years, never spoke, never said nothing. He has said in his heart, said in his mind, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. I ain't gonna never be in no adversity. You're not gonna happen with me. I'll not be moved. Say, who's gonna bring me down? Most I say, I'm gonna bring you down. And that's what we're dealing with. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. You see, he is full of cursing. Do y'all realize that, or you might not realize, we got next forever and ever and ever. Our blessing was everlasting life. And we would have had everlasting life if we didn't eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Because we was made to be immortal from the start. But we chose the serpent. We chose the devil. We chose how to be on the left-hand side instead of the right side. Like I said, ain't nothing new under the sun. Y'all gotta hear this. The Most High in the beginning said, all you need is me and my son, the tree of life. That's why my church said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Who knows that? He's the way to show us how to follow the truth, which is the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High that leads to everlasting life. Same thing we had in the garden. What did he tell him he could eat of? His son, the tree of life. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Just follow me and my son. He created everything by Mashiach Yahushua. That's a mystery. That's spoke of in Ephesians 3 and 9, Colossians 1, 4 down, John 1, 1 to 4. I mean, they're telling you this. And what we do, we looking at a New Testament following the way of the heathen that don't know the Most High, ain't gonna know the Most High, got the same mindset of these religions that is set up to send you straight to damnation. They said hell is waiting for them and you too, if you really gonna follow what they're saying. They don't know this Bible, what this Bible is talking about. How you gonna follow somebody that don't know? And in the end, that's what they're gonna say. That's what the way the Most High and the Mashiach will say, we have not known it. And you gotta work around these devils, you gotta be around these devils, you gotta look at all the things that I'm not just talking about the so-called white man, I'm talking about black devils too. Israelite devils too. Understand that. Oh, you get in trouble, you start talking about them Israelite devils, black devils. Boy, they don't like to talk about that, boy, because they want to keep you and those that are like that in the position that they're in, and being that to have majority of us following the way they want you to follow. And that's all. That's being all. They're not honoring the Sabbath. I've been doing the Sabbath for over 30-something years. Consistently. All praise to the Most High, I was saying, like some of you are honoring the Sabbath. When that sun go down on the 6th day, to bring in the 7th day, the beginning of the 7th day, we in this. You see, this part of our culture, part of our nature is natural. It's not something that you regret doing or you got to do whatever. They had everything set up for you to do things on the Sabbath. So then people had to learn that this is what you do. No compromising in this. In the end, it'll be all right. You have to adjust or they wicked, right? If it's righteous to do what most I say do, and they not doing it for whatever reason, then you're doing it. Then how are you wicked and not doing it? You're going to follow whatever somebody else will say. That pride is something else, boy. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. And that's what it is for anyone, no matter what nation it is. If you're not keeping the righteousness of the Most High, you ain't trying to do what's right. Point blank. Look at Isaiah 14 and 32. You say, what shall one's then answer the messengers of the nations? That the Most High have founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. You see, the Most High has founded Zion. Who is Zion, y'all? Anyone know how to define Zion? The Most High has founded Zion. Is it talking about the land of Zion, or what is it talking about? Most High have founded Zion. Help me out here. Hmm? It says Zion. Who is Zion? Look at anybody know how to define Zion? This says that the Most High have founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. Zion is Israel. I'm talking about the scripture. Because here we define everything by the scripture. Because I like to not go into, we can go to Bible dictionary as we want, but if we can define it by the scripture, then it means a lot. Okay. Isaiah 51 and 16. Right. We know, that's why I say here, I try and define these words by the scriptures, because we've been talked to enough to believe what somebody say. But here, you can see that Zion represents the children of Israel, like this right here in Isaiah 51 and 16. Defines who Zion is. And I have put my words in thy mouth, and I have covered thee in the shadow of mine hand, that I may plant the heavens and lay the foundations of the earth, and say unto Zion, thou art my people. See? Say unto Zion, thou art my people. So you should put down Zion equal Isaiah 51:16. You know what I suggest? That helped me a lot. I bought a phone book, like a phone where you can put numbers in. We had the letters from A to Z, and I took all the different letters. I go to the letter Z. I put Zion. Whenever you say Zion, okay, you go to Z. There it is. It's Isaiah, 51:16. Chosen scriptures. And you go. That's a C. You go to C. Bam. Deuteronomy 7:6, Deuteronomy 14:2, Deuteronomy 32:8-9, Ecclesiastes 17:17, all the different scriptures for the chosen, which is numerous, you know what I mean? But it's something, you could think about doing. It can help you so that whenever you're looking for a definition, looking at what it means, you can just go there, or scriptures that pertain, the scriptures that, you want to remember, and just study that. So look at Matthew 5. Can we look at these end times? So we got to really take this to Matthew, the 5th chapter, and verse 3. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Matthew 5:3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. You see? So the prideful in spirit is not going to be blessed. They're going to be cursed. They're going to be cursed. It say, blessed are the poor in spirit, right? So the prideful in spirit going to be cursed. And this is how you look at the proud. Because they're going to be humble. Verse 5. Matthew 5:5. Blessed are the meek, which are the humble, but they shall inherit the earth. Right? So the meek are humble which is contrary to being prideful. And we can go back to Ecclesiastes 10 and look more up into the pride. Verse 13. For pride is the beginning of sin. See that? And he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Most High brought upon them, these prideful people, strange calamities, and overthrew them utterly. The Most High cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek or the humble in their stead. See that? And that's all it's saying here. I'm not sure what's letting you. This is the Old Testament. That's all I'm telling you. When you walk church, that's all they had to go by. Was the Old Testament. The same Old Testament that the preachers and all them don't go to because they don't know it. Or they do know it, they want to still deal with their little madness that they deal with, their decree that they believe in this, they believe in that, they believe in this. We as a Baptist church, we believe this way. We as a Lutheran church, we believe this way. Catholic church believe this way. They got their decree that they believe in, that whoever's dealing with being a leader within those different organizations, secular churches, worldly churches, because they're not dealing with the scripture, you won't find no religion in the Bible. And I won't hold my breath to wait till you find one, because you're not going to find it. I'll pass out and die. He didn't give us religion. He gave us laws, statutes, commandments to go by, that he wrote with his finger. That's why I say. For pride is the beginning of sin. And we know sin is the transgression of the law. It's defined in the New Testament. It's amazing how the New Testament defines certain things that the church would just eliminate, period. You know, 1 John 3 and 4 defines sin. Like you had your Rolodex, you can go to S, sin. Bam. 1 John 3 and 4. And you turn to it real quick. It'll help you, tell you that. 1 John 3 and 4. The definition of sin. Whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. The same law that they say you're not under. You see how easy it is to dismantle the things that people have been taught in these different crisp insanity religions? Because that's what it is. They're going to be burnt crispy because it's insanity. Straight up. When you really know what this Bible talking about, it's insane. I hate to say it, but it's real. Ecclesiastes 10 and 13. For pride is the beginning of sin. And he that hath this shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Most High brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. See that? Verse 18. Pride was not made for men, nor furious anger for them that are born of a woman. They that fear the Most High, you that are afraid and scared of the Most High, are a sure seed. And they that love him are an honorable plant. They that regard not the law that he wrote with his finger are a dishonorable seed. They that transgress the commandments are a deceivable seed, man. You talk about them, man. 2 Ezra 9. That's what you're looking at every day. 2 Ezra 9 and 20. You say, for I consider the world. 2 Ezra 9 and 20. For I consider the world that we in right now, and behold, there was peril, danger, because of the devices that were come into it. That prideful people brought into it. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a great of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. And those great people are the Israelites. Let the multitude perish then. So let the multitude of people perish then, which was born in vain. That's serious. And let my great, that's a great, be kept. And my plant, that's a plant. For with great labor have I made it perfect. You see that? So the Most High have his hand in the things that some of us have to do. The mission that we're on has nothing to do with even ourselves. It's something that we have to do. We've been ordained to do something that if you're not spiritual, you wouldn't understand it, because a lot of y'all just think it's just about memorizing scriptures when it's not. Not for your spirituality. Look at verse 18, what it says. And now when I prepared the world, which was not yet made, him hanging out with a Mashiach Yahushua, who made the world through the power of the Most High. He said, when I made the world, now when I prepared the world, which was not yet made, even for them to dwell in that now live, no man spake against me. You hear that? We made the world and say nobody spoke against them. But then everyone obeyed. You hear that? Isn't that beautiful? But then everyone obeyed. All the people obeyed. He made the world. He said, but then everyone obeyed. But now, the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by a perpetual seed and by a law which is unsearchable. Rid themselves, man. Because they're not dealing with the law of the Most High. Let me tell you in Psalm 96:5, for all the gods of the nations are idols. But the Most High made the heavens, where they worship the sun, the moon, the stars, the comets, you name it. Anything that could be seen. It's tangible. Most High is, he said, he tell you in St. John 4:24, the Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him how? In spirit and in truth. You see? That's very important, because people are not spiritual. You're not really looking at this. Anytime to remain spiritual, when you're spiritual, you're going to find out, hey, what's that say? You can take everything cheerfully and keep it moving. You know why? Because one thing can never change. You know why you can take it cheerfully, no matter what? Because you know for a fact we got next. And if you need some encouragement, and when you feeling down and out, you read Second Maccabees, the 7th chapter. Or you can read a little bit in the 6th chapter about Eleazar, the man that was 90 years old, that would not sin, would not eat no pork, no shrimp, crab, lobster, kept anything that's abominable, rather died first. Read that. Read about the woman and her 7 sons. The woman and her 7 sons that died, was tortured. You need some encouragement when you think you are down and out. Read that and see the power and hear what they say before they was tortured to death. We know we gonna die for the law of the Most High, because we know we got opportunity to see better than what we're dealing here. Y'all love this place, man. You're gonna die with this place, man. Come on. Read that. You need some encouragement. You think whatever situation you're dealing with is so bad, whatever this, that, and the third. They died manfully, straight up. Even the mother, in the end, after she's seen her 7 sons being tortured to death, went to the torment, knowing that there's something promised to us better than what we can have in this world here. Come on. Second Ezra 9:30. And thou spakest, saying, hear me, O Israel, and mark my words, thou seed of Jacob, lineage of our forefather Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, who became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. For behold, I sow my law in you. Hear that? He said, I'm planting my law in you, and it shall bring fruit in you. That's what it's about, y'all. That fruit is keeping the Most High's commandments. That fruit is keeping the Most High's laws. It's supposed to stay in you. Not the fact that you, oh, I own you. Nah, gotta smash that. It's going the law gonna bring the fruit in you. Like my shepherd said, your fruit shall remain. Yeah, your fruit supposed to be the laws and the commandments in the Most High that you induce to bring that into people to know the Most High and what He has done, what He brought forth. Did you say, but behold, I sow my law in you, and it shall bring fruit in you, and ye shall be honored in it forever. So how's it that they saying we ain't under the law now? So we're going to be honored in the law forever. But our fathers, which received the law, kept it not. See? Our forefathers that received the law, they didn't keep the law. And observe not thy ordinances. And though the fruit of thy law did not perish, the power that we have of keeping the commandments of the Most High, the law of the Most High, did not perish because it's still here today. Neither could it. But it was thine. It was, you hear that? It is the Most High's. It ain't ours, it's the Most High's. But we want to look at it for being something that's belonged to us. No. You would say, for it was thine, it was the Most High's. Yet they that received it perished. They that received it, Most High got rid of. Because they kept not the thing that was sown in them. We kept not the law that was sown in us. We want to follow the way of the heathen. We want to follow it this way, that way, our own mind, our own imagination. Verse 56. For we that have received the law perish by sin. We that have received the law, we perish, He kill us for going against the law, which is sin, transgressing the law, breaking the laws of the Most High. He wrote with His finger. But we that received the law perish by sin. And our heart, our minds also, which received it, perish also. Notwithstanding, the law perishes not. You hear that? So when they say we're not under the law, they say the law perishes not, but remaineth in His force, that power. Ain't going nowhere. But we chose another route. We learned the way of the heathen. And we follow the way of the heathen. And some of you done follow the way of the heathen in your denial. Let's go back to the Roman Empire. And First Maccabees 8:1. Now Judas, this is Judas Maccabees. This book is about the Maccabees. This is what they took out of the regular King James 611 Bible. This should be in between First Maccabees and Second Maccabees. Should be in between Malachi and Matthew. First and Second Maccabees should be in between that, but you have a blank page there because Protestants took it out of the regular King James 611 Bible. I have one here. And it's in just the original King James 611 Bible, and the 14 books of the Apocrypha are in it, you know. But they took it out because it's dealing with the Greek Empire and the Roman Empire. That's why you see here it said, now Judas had heard of the fame of the Romans that came after the Greeks, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that join themselves unto them, and make a league of amity with all that came unto them. Anybody want to join the Roman legions, as they call them? Hey, come on and join us. They accepted everybody. And that they were men of great valor. They said it was the Romans practiced a lot of them, you know, they were twisted. And they would say they had these small swords. They say they could take a sword and chop a man straight in half. They just split open. You see some of the movies, you see that really happened. They would hit a man, And top of his head right here, just splitting wide open like that. Valiant, very valor. Remember the Most High told Esau what? You understand? Why people be talking about Esau, not the so-called white man. Look what the Most High told Esau through our forefather Isaac when Jacob had got the blessing of everlasting life, which the Most High said he would have to. That's why I said when you understand prophecy, you understand what the Most High said. Because people they be going against what the Most High said, regardless of his ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts. He gonna make whatever happen happen. I don't care who he might use a dang on dog to do what he want to make happen. Whatever do it, he gonna make it happen. You understand this? Look at this in Genesis 27 and verse 38. This is after we were blessed with everlasting life. That Isaac blessed we, the children of Israel, through our forefather Jacob with everlasting life. Here come Esau. Verse 38. Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept, started crying. Remember, he done sold his birthright. You know the story. I don't want to go through all that because we're going to deal with something else. But he sold his birthright for some raw meat and lentils. The meat wasn't even cooked. It was red meat. That's what it tells you. He say, give me, a blessing, oh my father Isaac. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling, this is what you blessed with. Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. Now you tell me, who is it that's everywhere? And of the dew of heaven from above. Who has it got the blessing of this whole earth? Everywhere. Who are emissaries everywhere? Wherever you go, America, like whatever the war right now, what they bombing American embassies for everywhere they at. All over. Nobody have no emissaries like they do. And Isaac said, Esau, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live. You see? For by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion like he have now, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. See? Don't break the yoke that we had on them from off their neck. They wasn't in power until Alexander came into power under the Greek Empire. When you read First Maccabees 1:1, like I'm telling y'all, when you in Malachi, you're in the Persian Media Empire. That's why you got to know history. And the Bible's a history book. That's why Judas was looking at the Romans, that was getting ready to come into power after the Greeks. You see? And Esau hated Jacob. You see that? Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him with everlasting life. We got next forever and ever and ever. We only, like I said, in the beginning, everybody obeyed. Y'all hear what he just said? Everybody obeyed, but we broke the commandments of the Most High. Therefore, by us breaking the commandments of the Most High, we went into captivity, slavery, and bondage, like he told us he's going to do to us. And Esau hated Jacob, his brother, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, said in his mind, what? The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Then I'm going to kill my brother Jacob once we bury, our forefather Isaac, our father Isaac. He hated us. And that's how it's been. He put that decree. That's a vow he put out right there. So he hated us. He said once he buried Isaac, he was going to kill his brother Jacob. And so that's what you're looking at. You're going to live by the sword. That's why you see here. And then you look at Psalms. Go to Psalm 17 chapter. In verse 13, it says, arise, O Most High. Again, come, Most High. Rise, Most High. Arise, O Most High. Disappoint him. Cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. You see? Unless I read Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? The earth been given to them. So, oh man, let me see something. I forgot. I put my banner up. So lucky I had to put my banner up. And so we just went through Haman. He would be one of the small hat peoples today. He's trying to kill us. Trying to kill us. And when you read about when the Greeks came into power, they were all about taking us away from the laws of the Most High. That's what it's all about. They don't want us to keep the laws of the Most High. Because that's how we come back to the Most High. That's how we're going to be blessed and how we're going to have next. And we're going to be all as this in the kingdom. That's why if you're not practicing this, I don't know how you're going to be there. I don't know what people talking about. All this is going to be saved. Wicked too. Get out of here, man. That's why I tell you in Isaiah 16:21, it says, thy people also shall be all righteous as we was obeying in the beginning. So we'll be all righteous. We're going to keep the commandments of the Most High. They should inherit the land forever. That's our blessing. Thy people, your people, the Most High's children, the children of Israel, the branch of my planting, not anybody else's planting, the branch of the Most High's planting, the work of my hands, it says, that I may be glorified. So that's why I look at the scriptures and I say, wow, if he going to be glorified, we're going to glorify him when in the kingdom and you're not glorifying him yet. How are you going to be here to glorify him and you don't really glorify him now? Make that make sense? When his name is jealous and all you're looking for is something for yourself or your feelings of how you're dealing with, because most people are dealing with, looking for some kind of escalation, exaltation here in this world, man. This world, when you look at, we nothing. We're nothing as we ought to be. We're trying to be something. At least I think we should be trying to be something in the eyes of the Most High, first and foremost. Not how we feel about what this, just who cares about this, man? I mean, just like that, bam, everything's gonna be jacked up. Hold up. On the Most High. Some of myself, the other side. Yeah. I was looking for this. Just showed it to me. All praise to the Most High. About some of us like the other side. The Most High is awesome. You know that? Wow. Woo. You know what? I say that because I talk about him a lot, and I try and get those that I talk to realize the importance of how what does it take just to talk about it? What is it, like I say, y'all don't support financially. So what does it take for you to just take your finger and push a like for me? Just push a like, share, just push a like so this message can go out to more people, reach more people. Because I realized that because I've been doing little shorts, a lot of more people are, tuning in and paying more attention because there's certain things that, we know in part and prophesy in part, but the part that I do have, I do stand on wholeheartedly. And it don't take much to give a like, hit the button to like so that the algorithms can go up some, and say that people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. the branch of my planting, the work of my hands. That's the Most High, that I may be glorified. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Most High, will hasten it in his time. That's powerful. We're going to be all righteous. So this is what we rehearsing and dealing with, trying to be as much as possible now. Hopefully. Because look, y'all better understand. Let me give you some smoke that ain't gonna be put out. Malachi 4 and 4. Malachi 4 and 4. It says, remember ye the law of Moses. Remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. Because you tell me in verse 1, look what it's saying. But behold, this preacher prophecy, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. And all the proud that we've been talking about so far, all the proud, yeah, and all that do wickedly, all that break the commandments of the Most High, all that break the laws of the Most High shall be stubble. That's like tumbleweeds, y'all. That's why I say, crisp insanity. You're going to be crispy. That's my late brother Kazakh used to say. You're going to be burnt crispy. You're going to be like stubble in fire. You're going to be like tumbleweeds in fire. You know what it said? Behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yeah, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. You think you ain't going to follow the Most High's commandments if you want to. You ain't got to follow the Most High's laws if you want to. You're going to be stubble in fire. And the day that cometh shall burn them up. Said the Most High power of hosts, Most High power army of angels, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Ain't going to be no lineage. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves in a stall. And ye shall tread down the wicked. You hear that? And ye shall tread down the wicked. For they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this. Who said it? Said the Most High power of hosts. Most High power of army of angels. That's why he said, remember ye the law of Moses, my servant. Just before the Old Testament is finished, y'all. And that's all my church I had to go by was the Old Testament. That's all Paul had to go by that y'all believe in so wholeheartedly. He had just had the law and the prophets. That's all. The Old Testament. He said, remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all the children of Israel, with the statutes and judgments. See? It's very important. Because what do we know? We just know what it is that has been presented to us through slavery, through the missionaries coming here on our land and taking us off our land and turning their back and reading the Bible to us. I got all that story. And then turning around and putting us to death. Yeah. That's what happened with us. And some of us came from different places on ships here. But the majority was here already. They took us off our land and made us slaves. But right now, you see, go to Joel, book of Joel. The 3rd chapter, verse 1. For behold, in those days And in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, it's coming. Now, he told us in Jeremiah, go back to Jeremiah 30, he's just coming that he's going to bring us back to him. He said he the one going to plant us in our land. He told us in Jeremiah 30, verse 8, he said, for it shall come to pass, a future prophecy. In that day, said the Most High Power of hosts, going to be a day that I will break his yoke from off thy neck. He's going to break the yoke of our enemy off our neck and will burst his bonds. And strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. We ain't going to never be served of these enemies anymore. But they shall serve the Most High their power, David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, said the Most High. Neither be dismayed, O Israel, but lo, I will save thee from afar, like way over here in this western hemisphere, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. We scattered among all these nations for breaking the laws of the Most High. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest. Oh yeah. And be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, said the Most High, to save thee, that I'll make a full end of all nations. Say, make a full end of all nations. Whither I have scattered thee, we scatter among all these nations. Say, I'll make a full end of all these nations where we scattered in. Yet will I not make a full end of thee. He gonna make a full end of us, children of Israel. But I will correct thee in measure. That's why we've been going through this correction in measuring the certain things that's coming through the spirit. The spirit ain't never stopped. It's just a matter of you. Some of y'all stuck way back in the time period where I know, looking at where we've been in the truth, and I could go to where we started in the house. Point blank, One West, I'll say. The majority of us that's really out there in the streets and dealing with what we dealing with mainly come from One West. So y'all, the lineage of, I might say, One West. You see what I'm saying? And the spirit ain't never stopped. Certain things being brought up that we should really take heed to. Like they put L-O-R-D in there, which means B-A-A-L. It's a Canaanite god, Phoenician god, B-A-A-L, means L-O-R-D. And we still saying it like most I know what I'm talking about. But anything that offends him, like I say, you better read that lesson that I did on read Hosea 5:15, man. When I got to, most of the time I'm going to my place until we acknowledge our offense, man. When I got to offense, man, that humbled me real hard because I could not get off of that hardly. Offending him this way, that way, still offending him. Just like you take it lightly, like he's supposed to just accept whatever it is that we bring him forth that they done brought forth to have us not be close to the Most High as we can be, because they know that we was captivity for our iniquity. When you look at all these things and they know this, and you're looking at what they know, you're just looking at whatever it is that we're supposed to know as Israel, not looking at what the devil and those that's following him, what they know, and what is written in the Bible without a shadow of doubt. Then you'll look at, man, let me not do this. Why you hear me saying these things? And they're not coming against the fact that they put it in there. I mean, they're telling you straight up. Epstein niece said, hey, they worship B-A-A-L when they come in the house, which is L-O-R-D. Come on, man. Just got to bring it out. Spirit done brought it out. Let me bring it out again. Let me show you again. See what it says? B-A-A-L. L-O-R-D. Bam. It's right there. It's on the Van Compact Bible Dictionary. Let me get to new uncles. When I did it last time, I had a lot of controversy because I showed the wrong side. You see that right there? Hopefully y'all can see that. B-A-A-L. That's a new Unger's Bible Dictionary. Any dictionary for that matter. It means L-O-R-D, straight up. And they put it in here so you be calling on their God. And think you calling on the Most High by saying L-O-R-D. And a lot of y'all say the Most High know my heart. Well, I'll tell you in Jeremiah 7:9, the heart is deceitful of all things and desperately wicked. You know, the mind that we have, if it's wrong, it's wrong. Come on. Mosai said, I love it. He said in Jeremiah 30 and 11, he said, for I am with thee, said the Most High. He with everybody to save thee. You're going to save some of us. Hopefully it's us. Though I make a full end of all nations, whither I have scattered thee. You hear that, nations? He said, though I make a full end of all the nations we scattered us in, yet will I not make a full end of thee, because you're going to save a remnant of us, Israelites, but I will correct thee in measure. That's what we've been corrected. And will not leave thee altogether unpunished. See? That's why we went to captivity, slavery, and bondage. You know? But we hurt the Most High's feeling. We made him cry. Going back to Joel, 3rd chapter, verse 1 again. For behold, in those days and in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, you're going to bring us back to him. I will also gather all nations and I will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's like around southern Israel. And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel. You that? For his people, his heritage, Israel, we the Israelites, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have done that. But that's what happened in all praise to the Most High. About so much like I was saying. When you take me to the page that you think about and go there, all praise to the Most High. About so much like I was saying. Luke 21 and 24. This one was in Jerusalem. Most and Amashah said told us in verse 21, 21 and 20, he said, and when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, which is the Roman armies, that was super part of earth, the same ones that put Amashah side on the tree, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Know that the desolation thereof is near. Right? So what did they do in verse 24? And they shall fall by the edge of the sword. That's what we did. We fell by the edge of the sword. We fought from 65 AD to 70 AD, and shall be led away captive into all nations. That's when they did it. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. And he said they inherited the Most High's land until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So they only got a certain amount of time that the Most High going to allow any nation to rule. So they're going to be, the land of Israel will be trodden down on the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So now going back to Joel 3, it says, and I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people, for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, as we just read, and parted my land. You see, amongst themselves. That's what they did. Look at Ezekiel 36 and 5. It says, therefore, thus say the Most High Power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea. You look up Idumea in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Idumea, it says pertaining to Edom, Greek and Roman name for Edom, the so-called indigenous aboriginal white man. So that's what he said. He said in Ezekiel 35 and 5, therefore thus say the Most High Power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, the Edomites, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. They told all their people, come over here and get this land. Here, what it says, come on. This is what they've done. And so when you look at how, going back to Joel, the 3rd chapter, verse 3, it says, and they have cast lots for my people. They bid for us and have given a boy for an harlot. That's what they've done. They sold a boy in slavery for a harlot. A harlot means they sold him to have, trading around to have sex with him. Pans to have sex with little boys. Sound familiar? You know what the Epstein files talking about they were doing? And sold the girl for wine. So the girl for wine, allegedly. And so the girl for wine. Just a bottle of wine. Pass little girls around. Come on. That they might drink. That's why I say, yeah. And what have you to do with me, old Tyre and Zidon? These are so-called Africans, Hamites, and all the coast of Palestine. These are the Arabs. The Africans and the Arabs, and all the coast of Palestine. Palestine, that's still, they call them still the Arabs, right? To this day. When you render me a recompense, gonna pay me something? Give me something? Reward me? You say, and if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? He says, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly, pleasant things. You know, you gotta look at, they still looking for King Solomon's mines, man. What's that made them so rich, man? Beyond imagination. But we can't really see that because we only think that, you know, we come from rags and riches. No, we didn't. We the chosen people of the Most High. Because you have taken my silver and my gold. You hear that? Where they went up in heaven and got the Most High silver and gold? No, they got it from us. We the children of Israel. And have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians. Hear that? The Africans and the Arabs sold us into the Grecians, the so-called white man, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them. You hear that, people? He gonna raise up out of these places, man, that he have sold us. And they sold us. And will return your recompense upon your own head. That's payback. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah. And they shall sell them to the Sabians, these so-called Africans, to a people far off. But the Most High has spoken it. Say, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Tell them what? Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Wake up their mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares. Beat your farming utensils into swords. Ordinances, weapons of war for the army, the navy, the marines, the air force, and your puny hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. That's why I look at Pakistan, Afghanistan, you know, China, you know, Japan, everybody, Russia, everybody got nukes now. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourself together round about. Thither, cause thy mighty ones, your mighty warriors, to come down. Oh, Most High. That's the angels, y'all. Let the heathen be wakened. They're going to wake up on this time and come up through the valley of Jehoshaphat, the valley of decision. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Understand this. It's a time that's coming. He said he's going to judge all the heathen round about. What you going to do when he come for you? And you ain't ready. Put you in the sickle. That sickle is like a golf club with some sharp edges on the side of it. But a harvest is right, meaning, hey, we as the Israelites got ourselves ready, man. Come, get you down. For the press is full, the fast overflow, but their wickedness is great. Here we say, the wickedness of the wicked is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision. That's that valley of Jehoshaphat is called the valley of decision. Looks like on the side on this day, for the day of the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua is near in the valley of decision. You hear that? The sun and the moon shall be darkened. You know why? For all the destruction that's going to be going on. You can see no sun, you can see no moon. like it was when the Twin Towers came down. Oh, it's going to be continual. Like he said, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. It's not talking about they're gonna be falling out the sky. No, it's talking about all the destruction that's gonna be happening on this earth, y'all. You ain't gonna see no sun, you gonna see no moon, and you can see no stars at night. That's why I say look at concerning the stars. So you know he ain't talking about the star. You can look outside, you see that star's gonna be there every single night. That's what he told you in Ecclesiastes 43 and verse 9. It says, you see, in the Apocrypha, Ecclesiastes 43 and 9. The beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, an ornament giving light in the highest places of the Most High. Talking about the stars in the sky, y'all. At the commandment of the Holy One, they will stand in their order. This is what it say. And never, I repeat, it said, and never, ever, never, ever faint in their watches. Mean they're gonna be staying there right there. That star gonna be right there. No matter if you was a little child growing up seeing it, go back, it's gonna be right there and ain't going nowhere. So they're gonna never change. So that's not talking about the stars, that's in the sky gonna come down. No, you ain't gonna be able to see them because of the destruction that he's talking about. He's gonna bring on this earth, y'all. He said, Joel 3:15, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. The Most High also, while Mashiach Yahushua also shall roar out of Zion, in other words, voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. You hear that? The heavens and the earth shall shake, but the Most High will be the hope of his people. Now, this is the future. So if you don't really get a jump start on this, how is he gonna be the hope of you and you ain't really about him? Enough, I'll say. He gonna be the hope of his people. What other hope you got? I like to hear it. Because the world and Christian insanity will have you just thinking that you got to just call the name of Jesus and that's all you need. No, not even with him. When he was on earth in the flesh, he was an example because he didn't sin. He made sure he was kept the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, and even the sacrificial law when he was on the earth. Because we were still sacrificing when he was on the earth. He healed somebody leprosy, he told him, go do what the priest, what you're supposed to do, what Moses said you're supposed to do. And once you heal from leprosy, or whatever miracle that he did that required someone to sacrifice. Understand this. He was still keeping the laws of the Most High. The Passover is a law. Didn't he keep the Passover? That's when they killed him on the Passover. It was in the upper room. That's not Easter. Come on, y'all. Man, understand this. It says, for the Most High will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. But his people are the children of Israel. So shall ye know that I am the Most High, your power, dwelling in Zion, dwelling amongst us, man, and the land of Zion, my holy mountain, his holy kingdom, his holy people. Then shall Jerusalem be holy. Hear that? Say, then shall Jerusalem be holy. So if y'all practice being holy by keeping, we define holy, Romans 7 and 12. The law is holy, commandment holy, and just and good. Say, so he said, then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. You hear that? And y'all talking about these strangers, say no strangers pass through her anymore. No other nation gonna pass through our land anymore. That's why I tell you in Isaiah, they're not coming where we at. It tell you. Isaiah 60. And 12. Well, we read before that. 60 and 10. It said, and the sons of strangers, Isaiah 60 and 10, and the sons of strangers, these strangers that's not going to pass in our land anymore, the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath, I smote thee. In his wrath, he smote us, the children of Israel, but in his favor I had mercy on thee. You won't find what a mercy, most I say here, mercy, which is not getting something you do deserve to get on anyone but the children of Israel. Therefore, thy gates shall be open continually. Why? They shall not be shut day nor night. This is gates. You know, we go over them gates all the time. 3 gates on the north, 3 gates on the south, 3 gates on the east, 3 gates on the west. And each gate have the name of the children of Israel on it. All the tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. 3 gates on the north, 3 gates on the south, 3 gates on the east, 3 gates on the west, which equals what? 4 times 3 is what? 12. You got 3 tribes on the north, 3 tribes on the south, 3 tribes on the east, 3 tribes on the west. Each gate has the name of the children of Israel on it. That's why I say, therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night. Why? That men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. Say, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. Point blank. If they don't want to serve us, then they're going to be utterly wasted. They're going to be killed. Verse 14, the sons of also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Most High, while Mashiach ever shied of Zion of the Holy One of Israel. He said, whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, everybody forsaken and hate us, so that no man went through thee. Where's our corporations at? Where's our money at that have our faces on it and so forth? I will make them eternal. That's forever, never, never. Excellency. A joy of many generations. Oh, yeah. Say, yeah. Don't that sound good? Don't that sound great? Sound good to me. I don't know about y'all. That sound, man, that's uplifting, man. That make me feel great. Knowing that, you know, we can work toward that. But it's gonna be war. It's war like we see now. It's gonna be war. And in the meantime, go to Joel 2. Verse 1. It say, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of the Most High, what my Sheikh say, cometh. For it is nigh at hand, it's near at hand. It's coming, y'all. You see, everybody's so focused on what is happening now, but what about us getting ourselves together for the day of the Most High? It's near at hand, it's saying. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong. You hear that? A great people and a strong. There have not been ever like, there's never been like what's going to happen during the day of the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. There has not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it. Even to the years of many generations, you know? What he's going to do and the superpower, the spiritual power that he's going to bring upon those that are his elect. He said, a fire devoureth before them. You know? Fire is going to be devouring before us as the Israelites. And behind them, a flame burning. Behind us, a flame burning. Fire is in front of us. In back of us is a flame burning. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them. Hear that? The land that we're going to, as the Israelites, not saying that I will be or you or anyone, we can't make ourselves one of the number. But we know that he's saying the land is as the Garden of Eden before them. That them is the Israelites, that remnant of the Israelites. And behind them, a desolate wilderness. When behind us, ain't gonna be nothing but a desolate wilderness. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. They say the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses. And as the horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains. So they leap like the noise of a flame of fire that devour up the stubble. Like you said, going to devour the people that don't want to keep his laws. They're going to be like stubble. As a strong people set in battle array, straight up. Before their face, the people shall be much pain. Can be scared as ever. All faces shall gather black. Oh, hey, I got Negro. I'm black. I'm black. I got black. I love black people. It could be worse than you ever heard. All faces shall gather blackness. Young, I'm black. See that? See that speckle on me? See that speckle? I got some black right there. See that brown right here on me? I'm black. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one of his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. We're going to know how to march. A lot of y'all don't know how to march. They don't try to march like y'all learned in the Esau Army. No, we march different. We march opposite. I mean, we marched in the Martin Luther King parade 2 years in a row. Our marching, yeah, everybody else marching, doing whatever they're doing, they little whatever they do. But our marching was different than everybody. We got first place. Twice we did it, and we got first place in the Martin Luther King parade back in the day. Marching and doing what we was doing, our little cadence and what we do. See, we're gonna march, and like you said, a lot of different camps they know how to march. Some you don't. So, and this ain't gonna be you if you don't know how to march. And they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. We're gonna be duck your right and grab your left, feels good. I mean, certain things that we know that you don't know nothing about. Y'all ain't been trained to do that. We gonna be marching and gonna break our ranks, man. And y'all know that you know how to march. You know what I just said. That's how we do it. Neither shall one thrust another. We ain't gonna be trying to hurt each other. They shall walk every one in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, think about the spiritual power. They shall not be wounded. Woo! Hear that? Hear that? When they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Tell me that the Most High. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark. For all the corruption and all the explosions, all the soot that's going to be in the air, and the stars shall withdraw their signs. Same thing we just read before. For all the destruction that's going to be going on, you're going to see no sun, no moon, no stars. You're going to see nothing. Till the earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Most High Mashiach shall utter his voice before his army. For his camp is very great, but he is strong to execute his word. Hear that? But you ain't execute his word, you ain't do what he say do, that ain't gonna be none of you. But his camp is very great. Hear that? His camp, y'all. Ain't say no church, ain't say no congregation. His camp is very great. But he is strong to execute his word. For the day of the Most High is great and very terrible. Who can abide it? Come on. And that's why he said, verse 30, he said, rend your heart and not your garments. We used to tear our garments when we was, call ourselves being humble. And so he said, rend your mind, man, the way you think, and turn into the Most High your power. For he is gracious. He going to give us grace and merciful. He's gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repent of him of the evil. Who knoweth if he will return and repent and blessing behind him? Who knows that? Nobody knows. His ways of thought, not our ways of thought. But one thing, he liked to be exalted. I know that. He loved to be boasted on. He loved to be praised. I say, all praise to the Most High. I'm going to keep saying it. I know what I know. And you got a problem with it, challenge me on it. Challenge me on that. Praise to the Most High. You don't have to praise him. Man, it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of living. That's why people don't fear the Most High. You ain't taught to fear the Most High. You ain't afraid of him. And I hate even to say certain things, man, because I remember the last time I heard something phenomenal. Well, I'm gonna say, because I done seen phenomenal things that happen. Like whenever I be talking and I turn the Bible and go right to that page. Like last night I don't know if it was last night or night before, the time that I was on before, but I know I was trying to find a scripture and I had a brain lock. I was like, man, I know the scripture, but I was like, man, it was just like I'm in Zechariah, I'm in Zephaniah. I'm like, man, I know the scripture is right there. I said, I told the class, I said, I'll find it later. And shoot, when I turned the Bible, it went right there where it was at. Come on, you got to get the Most High the glory on that, man. How was that? Come on. All praise to the Most High. But so much like I was saying, but it might seem small to you because of the fact of you might think I ain't trying to be nothing, but I'll give him all praise and glory because I'm gonna keep doing it and he gonna keep blessing me. He can bless you if you really tap into him. I gave you the order at the beginning of this class. The Most High, Mashiach, the other side, then man, then woman. You look at this, when I read the Bible, I look for him. Then I look for Mashiach Yahushua. They together, however it is. And you hear me say the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, Elohim, that's the both of them together. Or it's him by himself. It's a Mashiach Yahushua by himself. Or it's both of them together. You understand? And that's what you got to look for. You want to read the Bible, look for him. Because he's forgot about. He's not going to be exalted until he put a Mashiach enemies under his footstool. So you got to jump start right now to try and, as much as possible, glorify him. And like you say, he gonna get the glory. That he gonna be glorified, not us. He the one gonna be all in all, not us. Which one of you can say that you did enough to make it to the kingdom? You the elect. Talk to me. See, I know they don't like that. They don't like me to bring out stuff like that. Ain't nobody else asking that. Nobody else saying that. But then you look at how people are coming off, and you'll think that, okay, well, you'll think yourself, we the elect. When they say don't make yourself one of the number, dare not make yourself one of the number. Don't even think you're righteous. That ain't cool with the Most High. That ain't humility. Understand that I can prove that all day long. All the prophets say we are sin. We are sin. One day in our life, we didn't sin. All praise to the Most High. Y'all better learn to say that. Know that. And when they say rend your heart, rend your mind the way you think, and not your garments. That's just tangible. But your mind is the spirit of the Most High can be in you through your mind the way you think. That's why I say rend your mind the way you think, and not your garments, just tearing your clothes. We did that in humility. And turn unto the Most High your power. For he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger and of great kindness, and repent of him of the evil. Hear that? He'll feel bad about bringing on the evil. Or he gonna bring that evil on y'all. Listen, it's like this. Either you draw the blessings to you, or you draw the curses. You draw the evil to you. If you think you all that, he'll show you all that. Job thought he was all that. He said he was righteous. The Most High sent you see what he did? He sent Satan on him. That's an example that we have. Most people don't know why. That's why we got to really look at trying to do the best we can, but at the same time, we doing whatever we're doing, we still got to be humble. We still got to know that we're nothing as we ought to be. Who knows if he will return and repent and leave a blessing behind him? You hear that? Even a meat offering and drink offering unto the Most High your power. Say, blow you the trouble in Zion, sanctify a fast, call a solemnly assembly. So we have to fast and pray. That's the only way we can get rid of these demons, sicknesses, and things that we dealing with, or other people are dealing with. We got to fast and pray. Y'all got to stop eating so much. You got to take time not to eat, just to pray and deal with the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, Ba'asham Mashiach Yahushua, and allow that to be, a sacrifice of your body. Gather the people, sanctify the congregation, assemble the elders, gather the children, and those that suck the breast, babies. Let the bridegroom go forth of his chamber, and the bride out of her closet. See? Let the priests, the ministers of the Most High, weep between the porch and the altar, and let them say, spare thy people. You're already fasting. Now you're saying, cry to the Most High, and cry to the Most High to spare us, the children of Israel, O Most High, and give not thine inheritance to reproach, to disgrace, that the heathen should rule over them. Wherefore should they say among the people, where is their power? Why should they say, where is the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Then will the Most High be jealous for his land and pity his people. I read you again. Verse 15, blow the trumpet in Zion, sanctify a fast. We fasted. Call assembly together, tell them to fast. That's what we just read in Purim, the celebration of Purim. What did Esther say? Fast. What Judas Maccabee say when he's going against the wicked Greeks? Fast. We fasted. Everybody prayed. We cried to the Most High. What did he say? Verse 17, let the priests, the ministers of the Most High weep. That's crying to the Most High between the porch and the altar, and let them say, spare thy people. Have mercy, have grace on your people. Spare your people, Most High, and give not thine inheritance to reproach, disgrace, that the heathen should rule over them. I mean, it's our last captivity, point blank. Wherefore should they say among the people, where's their power? Then will the Most High be jealous for his land and pity his people. That's the only time he had pity on us, y'all. Yeah, the Most High will answer and say unto his people, behold, I will send you corn and wine, just blessings, and oil, and ye shall be satisfied therewith. And I will no more make you a reproach among the heathen, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, like America's army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, like over there in the Middle East, they call it, with his face toward the east sea and his hinder part toward the uttermost sea. Mediterranean Sea, I mean, he's gonna put him in between there, man. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. I mean, would stink from what? From the dead bodies, the carcasses. That's all this is going to be blessings for the children of Israel. Look at Ezekiel 37. Ezekiel 37. Because when it go down, everything gonna come back to us. That's why you have to be really ready in the times that we're looking at, that we're in now. We're having that war, but I wouldn't suggest, no one, hopefully, the ones that's in this armed service will be, most I have mercy on them, come out safe without harm. Ezekiel 37 and verse 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. These from these dry bones that have no flesh, with the sinews on them, that he's gonna make to have his spirit in them. But they're gonna stand up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. So it's not any other strange nation or anybody that's not of the 12 tribes of Israel. You see that? Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel, an exceeding great army. Behold, they say our bones are dry and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus say the Most High Power. Behold, O my people, we the 12 tribes, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Most High, when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live. Not only actually coming out of the graves, but in a dead state of mind that we in gross darkness, not ignorance, ignorance, not knowing who we are, not knowing the Most High, not knowing the Mashiach side, not knowing who we are, being everything under the sun except for we, the children of Israel. Say, I shall put my spirit in you, and you shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Hear that? I, not no man, not no woman, no one, but the Most High. He said, remember, he said, place in our own land that he can be glorified. And I shall place you in your own land, men, excuse me, then, so you know that I, the Most High, has spoken it and performed it, said the Most High. Oh, yeah. The word of the Most High came unto me saying, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions, right? One stick for the southern tribes and the northern tribes. That's why you got to know the history. You got to know that we were split as a kingdom when King Solomon did what he did and marrying these strange women of these other nations and serving their gods. Like the Most High said would happen if we went with these other nations, let our sons marry these strange women of these other nations, then they're going to follow, they're going to turn away from the Most High, which he did in his old age. That's why he said he's going to make a stick for Judah and for the children of Israel. When Solomon was living, we were all one, nation. But when he died, his son Rehoboam and was over the southern tribe, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and Jeroboam was over the rest of the tribes, and they had a division. Like he said he's going to do it. That's why I said the Most High said he's going to bite us, and he's going to take the tribes away from Israel. That's how he did it. That's why I like to look at what the Most High said he's going to do, how he's going to do it. You can't question how he's going to do it. That's the mind of the Most High. I'm not going to question what he does. All praise to the Most High. However he's going to do it, he's going to do it. Like he told our poor mother Rebecca. He said, hey, look, the elder shall serve the younger. And what did he do? She said, hey, come here, Jacob. Go out there and get that goat. Got that goat. When it's time to get the blessing, you can go back and read about it, Genesis 27, and put the goat hair on Jacob's hands, put the goat hair all around his neck, around his, and went in there and got Esau's clothes, put it on there, because Isaac was, had lost his sight, he couldn't really see. And Yaakov went in there and supplanted Isaac. It had to happen, though. Regardless of anybody say he ain't steal nothing, because Esau sold his birthright when he was out in the field hunting, came out of the field talking about, I feel like I'm about to die, man. And he sold his birthright for some raw meat and some lentils. Had that raw meat in those lentils, man. Come on. That's what it says. It says, for Judah, and for one stick for Judah and the children of Israel, that's the southern tribes and northern tribes, all 12 tribes, his companion. Then take one stick and write upon it for Joseph, that's the northern tribes, the stick of Ephraim. You see? Joseph represents Ephraim. Ephraim is the head tribe of the northern tribe. Judah is the head tribe of the southern tribe. Judah is the head tribe of all the tribes. But when it was split, Ephraim, that was Jeroboam. He was over the northern tribes of Israel. And for all the house of Israel, his companions, see? All the other tribes. That's with, because you got Judah, Benjamin, Levi, you got Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. That represent Ephraim, for all the house of Israel, his companions, and join them one to another into one stick. We're going to be one, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? What do you mean by this one stick, and this one stick for the southern tribes, one stick for the northern tribes, and you're going to bring them together as one stick? Say unto them, thus say the Most High Power, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim. Ephraim was the head tribe of the northern tribes, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, that's the other tribes beside Ephraim that I named, beside Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which are southern tribes. They're going to tell you next. And will put them with him, put with him, even with the stick of Judah, which is the southern tribes, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. You see? And the sticks whereof thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. And say unto them, thus say the Most High Power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land, as we read in Isaiah 60 and 21. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. And they shall no more, and they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. This is what the Most says, future prophecy. What are you going to do? Neither shall they defile themselves with any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. I mean, we're going to remember to say we're going to be all righteous. But I will save them out of all their dwelling places, wherein they have sinned. You see that? He's gonna save us from all the dwelling places wherein we have sinned. We have broken his laws. And we'll cleanse them. He's gonna clean us up, that we're gonna all be righteous. So shall they be my people, and I will be their power. Come on. That sounds great to me. Yeah. And you're not talking about no one else. Who can put themselves in that? What Gentile can say they're gonna be there? Hmm? You be talking about the children of Israel. Look, Isaiah 54 and 14. Y'all can play around with this if you want to. Isaiah 54 and 14 say, in righteousness shall thou be established. Thou shalt be far from oppression. Hear that? In righteousness, keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High shall we be established. Thou shalt be far from oppression, but thou shalt not fear. And from terror, for it shall not come near thee. Hear that? And from terror, for it shall not come near thee. In righteousness shall thou be established. So if you're not trying your best to do what you got to do and learning and living and applying this truth in your life, in righteousness, following the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, and not the way of the world, that make you at war with the Most High. You love this world. It make you the enemy of the Most High. Let me show you that. Because some of you might think, oh, yeah, well, I'm just talking out the side of my neck. No, I'm not. James 4 and 4 says, you adulterers and you adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? That's why you got to change from however you was in the world. Most High hate you. When you come in the truth, you still like the world. He don't like you, he abhor you. That's why I say the friendship of the world, it say you adulterers and you adulteresses, you men that have went against the Most High's rules and regulations, his laws, statutes, commandments, and you women that's going against the Most High's rules and regulations, that's being in the truth, how you supposed to be. He said, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? You at war with the Most High? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High. Come on. That's why he said in verse 10, he say, humble yourselves, again, like we started this, in the sight of the Most High, and he shall lift you up. Hear that? He gonna lift you up if you humble yourself. So if you don't humble yourself, you prideful, he gonna tear your butt up. He gonna tear you up. And when you understand what you really have to do, Master Shai said, look, John 12:32 said, and I, John 12:30, and I, that's a Master Shai. If I be lifted up from the earth, and he was in Acts, the first chapter, the 9th verse, he ascended up from the earth. And angels brought him before the Most High, and he was given that glory and that kingdom and all the things that he prayed for in St. John the 17th chapter, verse 5 down, verse 1 down. He wanted that glory that he had with the Most High before the world began. The Most High gave him that glory back. That's why he said that if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me. Hear that? That's why when you read First Corinthians 3:23, it says, and ye are Mashiachim. And Mashiach is the Most High. That's why he said in St. John 14:6, I am the way to show y'all to follow the truth, which is the laws of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High, that's going to lead to everlasting life. Said, no man cometh to the Father but by me. But if you're not spiritual, you'll be looking at New Testament. But he's saying that when they only had the law and the prophets. This ain't nothing new. The prophets had the spirit of a Mashiach, period. All the prophets had the spirit of a Mashiach. How was that? How's that a mystery that you could not explain? Unless you're spiritual. That's what I say. And ye are Mashiachim. And Mashiach is the Most High. That's like no man come to the Father but by him. We ain't just got dealing with him. We've been dealing with him. That's why David said in Psalms 110:1, what'd he say? The Most High said, unto my power, sit thee on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. That's what this is all about. That's why I said, if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me. And remember, we read how the Most High do the calling, right? And he allowed Mashiach to choose. We ain't chose him, he chose us. That's why he said it again in John 15:16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit. Go and bring forth the laws and the commandments of the Most High, first and foremost. And that your fruit, your laws and commandments you have should remain. That whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, by Shemashah, he may give it you. These things are command you that you love one another, man. He said, if the world hates you, which the world hate us as Israelites, you know that it hated me before it hated you. You see? So much that they put him to death. So I washed my hands of this innocent man and had him scourged, beat with the cat of nine tails. Every time they hit him in his back and pulled back, they pulled out flesh. But I washed my hand of this just man. Come on, man. If the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love its own, you hear that? You are the world would love its own. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you. You hear that? So this is what we're looking at. Those that's really dealing, you know. Look, he said in verse 24, he said, look, he said, verse 23, he said, he that hateth me hateth my Father also. So people that hate Mashiach Yahushua hate the Most High also. If I had not done among them the works which none other man did, they had not had sin. But now have they both seen and hated both me and my Father. You hear that? He wasn't loved when he was on this earth. You hear what he said? They both seen the miracles that he done. They both seen and hated both me and my Father. But this cometh to pass that the word might be fulfilled. Where's that word that he's talking about at? Preachers. How you gonna read the Mashiach's words and he say that the word might be fulfilled? That's from the Old Testament. That is written in their law. They hated me without a cause. See? They hated me without a cause. Written in their law. You see? So you got to go back to the Old Testament to find out what that's written. They hated me without a cause. And that's real, y'all. Go back to Isaiah 54. Verse 7. A world at war. He said, for a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies, plural, will I gather thee. You know? He said, but with great mercies. That's not just not getting something you do deserve to get. He said, hey, many a times, man, great mercies. He gonna look at turning his face away from you, us, I'll say, and not giving us what we deserve to get. He said, with great mercies will I gather thee. He said, in a little wrath to him, he said, I hid my face from thee for a moment. Because a day to the Most High is 1,000 years. Say, in a little wrath, I hid my face from thee for a moment. But with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, said the Most High, thy Redeemer. Man, don't that sound great? Yeah. He said, once again, in a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment. But with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, said the Most High, thy Redeemer. And he tells us in Isaiah 14, and I'm not sure what Shaq went to, when he went into the synagogue, he opened up the book of Isaiah a lot. He went through the scroll of Isaiah a lot. Look what he said in Isaiah 14 and 1. But the Most High will have mercy on Jacob. That's why we have to look at the present, the past, and the future, but just the future, regardless of what we see going on. And most of the things that you've heard is going to be in the future. But the Most High will have mercy on Jacob. That's why we got to work to be able to get here. Remember, you got to have mercies. He said, you have mercy on Jacob. You're going to see where he had mercy on no one else but Jacob, who was our forefather, who never changed. Israel became our forefather, Yaakov. It says, and will yet choose Israel, Yasharallah, 12 tribes of Israel, and set them in their own land. So that's the Most High doing this. We've heard this many times tonight. And the strangers, these other nations, outside of the 12 tribes, Israel, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar, shall be joined with them. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. They're going to be cleaving to us. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. So they ain't going to be where we're going to be at. They're going to bring the nations to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High for servants and handmaids. That's men slaves and women slaves. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And majority of these nations had us in captivity, held us in captivity. We're going to take them captives, whose captives we were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. It shall come to pass in the day that the Most High shall give thee rest. That's when we're going to have rest, y'all. When we have all the other nations as servants and handmaids, as just said. And it shall come to pass in the future, in the day that the Most High shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, being scared, being afraid, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. This is the hardest bondage we ever was made to serve. Here, and thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, right here in America, and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. You know, if you ride in a plane, you look down in America, I don't give a crap where you going. If there's a city, you look down and see that, it look like golden city, man. The lights is shining bright, man, like gold. The Most High have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, man. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. Non-stop, man. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. Come on, man. The whole earth is at rest. Not only us gonna be at rest, he said the whole earth gonna be at rest. All praise to the Most High. And it's quiet. You know? They break forth and singing. Gonna be singing to Zion, you know? Better understand. uh, to say Micah 4 and 10. Micah 4 and 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, 12 tribes of Israel, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field. That's the world. And thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. Hear that? It ain't talking about over there in Iraq. We ain't going to Iraq to be delivered. Talking about right over here in America, Babylon the Great. There shall thou be delivered. There shall the Most High redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. You ain't talking about it because, you know, Ancient Babylon is Iraq. No, it's talking about right here. Now, also many nations are gathered against thee that say, let her be defiled, and let our eye look upon Zion. We have defined Zion. Just look upon the 12 tribes of Israel. But they know not the thoughts of the Most High. Remember, it tells you in Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 7, they're going to say, we weird ourselves with wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we've gone through desert where there ain't no way. But as for the way of the Most High, the Most High, we have not known it. What does it say? But they know, verse 12 of Michael 4, but they know not the way thoughts of the Most High. Neither understand they his counsel. You see? For he shall gather them as the sheaves into the floor. That's why I said they don't know. They don't know the Most High. So any of you that's following someone that don't know the Most High, how is it you think you rolling with the Most High? You rolling with my second Messiah? He's telling you here. But they know not the thoughts of the Most High. I don't care how much you go into this in this way, that way, whatever way, they're not going to know the thoughts of the Most High. You can't make them know the thoughts of the Most High, but they know not the thoughts of the Most High. You don't understand they his counsel. What do you think this is? This is counsel right now. For he shall gather them as the sheaves into the floor. Arise, crumb, and thrust, O daughter of Zion, for I will make thine horn iron, and I will make thy hooves brass, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto the Most High, and their substance unto the Most High of the whole earth. Straight up. Look at Ezekiel 25. This is probably why they don't deal with this Old Testament, man. Ezekiel 25, I'm going on and on and on and on. I mean, as far as this concerned. Ezekiel 25 and 12. Thus said the Most High power, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended itself. We, the so-called brothers, as myself or my people, they've taken vengeance and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Remember what it said in Genesis, the 27th chapter. If you don't know, you can go back, go over this. He said, once we bury our father Jacob, Isaac, you're going to kill their brother Jacob. And Esau hated Jacob. Thus say the Most High power, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus say the Most High power, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it. And I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. Look, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, said the Most High. That's what he's telling you. Thus say the Most High. That's prophecy. Look at Jeremiah 50 and 20. It says, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee, talking about the children of Israel, the men of Israel, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations. And with thee will I destroy kingdoms. And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider. And with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman. And with thee will I break in pieces old and young. And with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the babe. I will also break in pieces with thee, the shepherd, these ministers, these pastors, and his flock, and all you that's following them in the wrong way. And with thee will I break in pieces the husbandmen, the farmers, and his yoke of oxen. And with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. And I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of the Chaldees all their evil that they have done in Zion to the children of Israel in your sight, said the Most High. And behold, I am against the old destroying mount, old destroying kingdom, said the Most High, which destroyed all the earth. So what's this talking about? No other nation destroyed all the earth but Esau in this kingdom, which destroyed all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks. Come on. They'll be hiding in the rocks. I'm going to roll you down from the rocks. It will make thee a burnt kingdom, a burnt mountain. Thus said the Most High. See, people don't know that. Y'all ain't ready for that. That's why he told us in Revelation 18:4, to the word of the Most High. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. We the people of the Most High, the 12 tribes of Israel, that ye be not partakers of her sins. You see that? He's giving us orders, man. We're not supposed to be partakers of the sins, breaking the Most High's commandments, and justifying ourselves with the wicked, no matter as our people or anybody else. You ain't partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. Most High plague in this place, man. With all kind of diseases, all kind of earthquakes and famine and tornadoes, hurricanes, storms, that's phenomenal. Floods, you see the floods? I was talking about the floods this year, man. They moving so fast, taking everything with them. Ain't never seen no floods moving that fast like that. Phenomenal, plaguing. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High remembered her iniquities, to reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled to her double. That's just justice, because you read Isaiah 40:1, what we receive from the Most High. Let's find out. As the chosen people of the Most High, that's why I say if the other nations don't receive the things that they have done, and the knowing of the things, you don't have to really go into these books to know. You turn on the news right now, you'll see all the things that's being done. Isaiah 40:1. It said, comfort ye my people, said the Most High, said your power. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem. That's talking to us, the children of Israel, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished. Remember we read in James 4:4 how ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? Anyone that's a friend of the most of this world is the enemy of the Most High. That you at war with the Most High, you love this world. Our warfare is accomplished. Those that's going to come out, separate themselves from the world and learn how to honor the Most High of Mashiach Yahushua, man and woman and child. As that order is. Say, yeah, speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned. We've been at war, y'all. We're prisoners of war in captivity. We didn't just give ourselves up to be in captivity. We went to war. And the Most High said what's going to happen, we still fought. Our warfare is accomplished, y'all. It's a spiritual warfare that we fight with high-level demons. A lot of you don't really know how to deal with that because you just deal with emotions. That's what them demons get into, and have you dealing with your feelings and emotions and all that stuff, man, that you're dealing with demons and devils and so forth. Well, you're not following what the Most High says spiritually when he say whatever you take cheerfully. And Mashiach showed you how to get rid of them through the law of the Most High, the same law that you taught you're not under. You ain't got to follow. You can follow the same suit what he did to rebuke the devil. He went to the law every single time. He had to leave him alone. He can't deal with the law. But see, y'all, you ain't spiritual. You can't see that. You follow the same thing that worked. I follow the same thing that worked for him. Mashiach Yahushua, first and foremost, came in here in the flesh. He showed us what worked, And the rest of the prophets and the rest of our brothers and sisters that do certain things that work. I don't care who it is. It worked. Hey, I'm going to use it too. That's why I say, speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem and cry to her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned. For she have received at the Most High's hand double. for all her sins. You see that? That's why when you see these nations, Esau and the other nations, going to receive double, we receive double. That's why it says in Revelation 18:6, it said, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. That's what it says. Fill to her double. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. But she said in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Isn't that pride? I remember it told you in 2 Ezra 8:50. You say gonna be great miseries on this earth because of great pride, because of pride. People gonna be prideful. That's why I say, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Most High power who judges her. That's why I tell you in 2 Ezra 6:9, for Esau is the end of the world, and no kingdom has ever come on this earth without warfare. Understand this. It said, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Most High power who judges her. That's the Most High. For real, for real. Um, Look at Habakkuk. Look at the book of Habakkuk. Why? Most I talk about it, man. He's just bringing it on home, man. Habakkuk, second chapter, um, verse 5. What is that for? Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, that's pride, is not upright in him. You hear that? His soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. Remember, says, for the way of the Most High and on my shepherd's side, we have not known it. But the just shall live by his faith in the Most High. Yeah, also, because he transgressed by wine, I mean, he using being influenced, his influence of all the nations, he is a proud man, see? That's when you depart from the Most High. So he's a proud man. He's not dealing with the Most High. Neither keep it at home, right? And who enlarges his desire as hell. Everywhere it goes, it's like hell. He don't keep it at home because he got his military where? His bases everywhere. I mean, you got the fattest of the earth, the dew of heaven, got his bases everywhere, military bases everywhere. So he is proud. He's a proud man. Neither keep it at home. Who enlarges his desire as hell, and is at death. It cannot be satisfied. Who but gathereth unto him all nations. You tell me this ain't America. And heapeth unto him all people. What other country is like America? Ain't no country like America. Got all, like I say, gathered unto himself all nations and heapeth unto him all people. Right here in America. You name them, they right here. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, whoa, destruction to him that increases that which is not his. How to get America? How to get this Western Hemisphere? Should not all these take a parable against him, a taunting proverb against him, and say, whoa, destruction to him that increases that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. What color is clay? Red. Only deal with the people that look like him, but that's like him. So they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee. That we talking about these sleeper cells everywhere. And a weight that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. Take everything they have. Because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people that's left shall spoil thee because of men's blood and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Look at all you do is, look at the Gaza Strip. Look at all the wars they have been involved in. How many of us died from taking the land of this Western Hemisphere that we were on, that we ruled, that we set up the 13 colonies, that they didn't have a building that was as magnificent as we had when it came here until the 1800s. They didn't just come get no non-skillful people. Look at so you got to think, if we was running around Africa, as they say, with diapers on like Tarzan or some old madness like that, how could we have Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921? We so-called came out of slavery in 1865. Rosewood, Allen's work out here in California and so forth. How we have all these cities that they made lakes. The first president was John Hanson, a brother. Many others after that, long before George Washington. See, that's why Job says that they are forges of lies. They're oppositions of no value, because we've been lied to over and over and over and over again. If you don't really look at, is this true or false? What is it? Then a lot of people believe in whatever you go on to Google. That Google tells you that's who you believe in. Even though the research has been done, because most I told you, gonna open up our eyes. So what's gonna help us? But if you don't know what the scriptures say, you're just going by whatever they say. What's the difference between that's AI and what you believe in it, what AI puts out? Look, Revelation 12 and 15, look what it say. And the serpent, Salakia, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman. What's that talking about? That he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. What's that talking about? Like they have their little ways of disguising things. Most I got this way of disguising things in parables also. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood with the dragon, which the dragon cast out of his mouth. That's why I say, man, you just couldn't put it so that you really can read it and understand it. What's that talking about? You see? See how he wrote that? And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman. Lies, the flood of lies, that's what he cast out of his mouth. Lies after the woman, which represent the 12 tribes of Israel. When you read Jeremiah 6 and 2, the Most High have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely, beautiful, and delicate woman, symbolically. But if you don't know that, by the time you get to Revelation, you go on how to precept every word that's in these scriptures, how you going to really know what it's talking about? Because they cast out lies before us, that he might cause her to be carried away of the lies. And our people believe the lies. Like right now, they're saying, okay, well, the jab didn't stop COVID, it didn't prevent it, and it didn't cause you not to have it. But they say do it, and they're bringing it out now. Certain things, that lie. The fact that we are not the 12 tribes of Israel. That lie, that the Most High is them, so-called white man. Mashiach Messiah, so-called white man. Look, that's why I say, if they say that, and who's apologized for saying the Most High is a so-called white man? Who apologized saying a Mashiach Messiah is so-called? Look, I can't put in your place enough. Who's responsible for this? Until this day, our people believe this. They got on their walls. They believe this lie. Who's responsible for that? Who's gonna pay the price for that? Who is it that said I'm sorry for that? Who said this? Who said, okay, I'm sorry that this happened? Who is it that's responsible for this? Huh? That's what our people believe in. I'm talking about our people. That's why it says, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood, lies like a flood after the woman, after the Israelites. This was so important that we don't get because of the fact that we don't realize how important we are as the chosen people of the Most High. While these things have to be done, it always come back to us, one way or another. These lies, they got so many different names that they have pork. The names of pork. They changed all these different names. Things like natural flavors, man. That's like something that we ain't supposed to be even ingested into our bodies, some of it. You know what I mean? But they'll put on there, it's just vegetables. And you know good and well it's more than that. But all people believe that. They'll argue to death. Where you get that from? Oh, Google said it. Who said it? Oh, that's AI. You can't believe that. It's AI. But then whenever you say, oh, it's natural flavors, you go in there, do natural flavors. What's natural flavors? Vegetables. Okay, well, that's what it is. See how I mean? When the scripture said, never trust thine enemy. You got a question. Look, see what it say. The serpent cast out of his mouth water as of a flood, lies as a flood after the woman, after the children of Israel, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood of the lies. Would you know that if I ain't really teach you that, would you know that already? That's why I read it to you. How do you understand that? It say, and the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened up her mouth through history, his story, our story, archaeology, anthropology, and so forth and so on. And swallowed up the flood, swallowed up the lies, which the dragon, first they called the serpent, now I say the dragon, cast out of his mouth. You see? Swallowing up the lies has been told and taught to everyone, really. That's why everybody should be listening to what we're teaching to learn the truth or want to know more about the truth, about what this Bible is really talking about, to break this down. If he wanted everybody to know this, how come it's written like it's written right there? And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and had a testimony of a Mashiach Yahushua. How come it's written like that? How come he just couldn't say, and the so-called white man was bringing anger and wrath on the Israelites and went to make war with the remnant of the Israelites, that remnant of the Israelites, which keep the commandments of the Most High and had a testimony of a Mashiach Yahushua. Who keeps the commandments of the Most High? Who's telling you got to keep the commandments of the Most High? These Christian sanity religions? Talk to me. What Christian sanity religion is keeping the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, if I might ask? It's specifically talking about a certain people in this earth today that are specifically saying you got to keep the commandments of the Most High. Repent and keep the commandments of the Most High. I say you got to fear the Most High. You got to be afraid and scared of the Most High. For real, for real. Who is this? The dragon was wroth with the woman. First it said, what? Verse 15 it said, and the serpent. Now you call the serpent the dragon. But in verse 9, it says, and the great dragon was cast out. That old serpent, there was a dragon and serpent right there called the devil. The serpent and the dragon is the devil and Satan. Devil means deceitful and evil person. Satan is enemy, adversarial foe, which deceiveth the whole world. Hear that? Which lied to the whole world. So when you get to it, say deceiving the whole world, he was cast out into the earth and his angels were cast out with him. So y'all think Satan was cast out of heaven, like they say. It was cast out on the earth. No. He the left-hand side of the Most High. He worked for the Most High. Do some evil and see the Most High don't send Satan on you. Check me on that. Do some fact check on that. See if fact check, if AI can release that information to you. Google that up. I love it. See if AI can break this down. Go to AI and say, what is this talking about? You know what I mean? Hopefully AI ain't picked up what we done taught on it. They just learn everything, from what we bring up in these scriptures. But if they have it, just say AI without dealing with the Hebrew Israelite understanding, what is this talking about? And see what they give you. Fact check that. So it's talking about they coming down on those that keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of a Mashiach Yahweh. That's us, y'all. Only us. You know, we the children of Israel. Oh, man, so I'm gonna let me see. You all right? Everybody all right? So I'm on a roll. I didn't really get a chance to look at this. Because it's a world at war, y'all. Look at 2 Ezra 16 and 37. Behold, the plagues draw near, and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. That's them labor pains. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. And the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle. And in those evils, and in those evils, and in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. You gotta be ready to move. You can't just be set. You all you that's you settle down and wherever you say, be as pilgrims upon the earth. You might have to get up out of here. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. And he that buyeth, as one that will lose. He that occupieth merchandise, as he that hath no profit by it. Y'all see how high gas going up? Almost like 10 cents a day. I mean, people talking about, oh, gas going up. It's like man, it's almost, some places they say in California, almost $10 a gallon already. I know it's 5 cents, it's 5.50. Come on. And he that buildeth, as he that shall not dwell therein. Like you ain't gonna be able to dwell in. That's why I say you gotta be like pilgrim, ready. He that soweth, you farmers, you sowing some seed as he should not reap. You ain't gonna be able to reap what you're getting. That's growing whatever you planted. So also he that planteth the vineyard, as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry, as they that shall go get no children, and they that marry not, as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain. For strangers shall reap their fruits and pour their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives for in the captivity and famine shall they get children, man. And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, like they got everything to robbing the people of their land and everything that they had on their land, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sin, said the Most High. Like a whore, envious of right, honest, and virtuous woman, so shall righteousness hate iniquity. So when you look at, okay, well, how are you supposed to be in being righteous? You're going to hate iniquity, those that are not trying to be, and it's true, not trying to follow the Most High's commandments. So shall righteousness hate iniquity. You're going to hate the things that are not truly accurate in this truth, man, in keeping the commandments of the Most High. When she decketh herself and shall accuse her to her face, when he cometh that shall defend him that diligently searches out every sin upon earth. Come on. What do you think? It's not going to happen? Hmm? It's going to happen. That's why Ezra said in 16, verse 11, the Most High shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? He just threatened it. So who ain't going to be beaten to powder at his presence? The earthquaker. The Most High wanted to bring the earthquakes and the foundation thereof. The sea arises up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are trouble, and the fishes thereof also, before the Most High, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Say, behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not mourn, and shall not return again. The plagues sit on this earth, y'all. So they ain't gonna return again. And they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backwards. When he shoot that arrow, it ain't going backwards, it's going straight forward. Even so, the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. That's why Ezra was crying, woe is me, woe, destruction is me, woe is me, destruction is me. Who will deliver me in those days? What is that? That's regeneration right there. He's telling us about the future, and he's saying who's going to deliver him in those days. That's why the scripture is written for us. He didn't understand certain things he was told. So he's saying, who's going to deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine, food shortages, and great death, the beginning of wars, like we're seeing right now. And the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. He said, what shall I do when these evils shall come? When he told him in 2 Ezra 14:9, he told Ezra this. Now we can go back and read it of what the Most High told him. You didn't think about it. Look, but thou shalt be taken from all. I mean, you're gonna die, Ezra. Most High told him, you're gonna die, Ezra, to the angel Uriel telling Ezra this. But thou shalt be taken away from all, and from henceforth thou shalt remain with my son, and with such as be like thee, until the times be ended. See that? He said he's gonna be with those that's like Ezra until the times be ended. That's why he told them in 2 Ezra 8:51. He said, look, but understand thou for thyself, talking to Ezra, the Most High telling Ezra through the angel Uriel, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. That's why he said that. 2 Ezra 14:9. But thou shalt be taken away from all, meaning Ezra's going to die, and from henceforth, from here on, thou shalt remain with my son, and with such as be like thee. And how was Ezra? That's why it's so important to know these scriptures and these precepts as far as dealing with spiritually how he was. 2 Ezra 8:48. And this also thou art marvelous before the Most High, in that thou hast humbled thyself. See, we in it right where we started with that pride demon. In that thou hast humbled thyself as it becometh thee, and hast not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous. You see? You're supposed to be glorifying yourself to be all that. No. We got to humble ourselves. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. Why? Because they have walked in great pride. That's what he's telling you. That's why he told them, hey, he told him, you're going to be with my son. You're going to rest. And all this go down, he didn't get it. That's why I say, woe is me, woe is me. And 2 16, 17, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days, you know? When the Most High told him he ain't gonna be have to be here. Like he told Daniel. Last thing he told Daniel, look at Daniel 12. He told Daniel, some of them didn't have to be here. They had to come back to this place, this wicked place, man. Daniel 12 and 13 say, but go thy way till the end be. End of this world be, right? He said, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days. Gonna be resting. You don't have to deal with this place, man. So you're gonna rest, man. You gotta come back here to this madness. You're gonna be here with this madness. You're gonna rest. You're gonna be in this place at the end of the day. Look, that's why I tell you in Revelation 14:13. Well, verse 12, here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of a Mashiach Yahushua. The same ones that the devil gonna come down on. We that keep the commandments, that's only the Israelites. They had a true faith in the Mashiach Yahushua. It says, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, right, blessed are the dead, which died by some of Mashiach Yahushua from henceforth. Yeah, said the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors and their works do follow them. But when the books is open, the works is how you keep the commandments of the Most High. That's the works that he's talking about. But, you know, everybody being taught, all you got to do is call on the name of Jesus, and that's all you need. And the Christian insanity religions and so forth, or whatever they believe in. But you better understand, these prophecies going to happen. Tell you in 2nd Ezra 16 and 70, start there. It says, but there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection, no matter where you run to, upon those that fear the Most High. And that's us, the Israelites. They shall be like madmen. They'll be like madmen, sparing none. Talking about a world at war, yeah, they're going to be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Most High. We're the threat on this earth. Why? For trying our best to be righteous and follow the Most High that they don't know. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold is in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved. Who's to be loved, y'all? Who's to be loved? All praise to the Most High. Baruch 3 and 36. Hear thee, my beloved. Who to be loved? When you see that word, here it is. It's the definition of beloved. Put that in the letter B. He have found out all the way of knowledge, Baruch 4:36. He have found out all the way of knowledge and have given it unto Jacob his servant and to Israel his beloved. So Israelites are the beloved of the Most High. So when you hear beloved, it's talking to us, the Israelites, only. See what it says? It says, 2nd Ezra 16 and 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Most High. That's us. Because remember, the church that I teach you're supposed to fear the Most High. I know I'm teaching you got to fear the Most High. Say, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. This shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Hear, O my beloved, hear ye, O my beloved. That's the Israelites, said the Most High. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand. That's Jacob's trouble that we read about earlier. But I will deliver you from the same. I said, hey, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt. That's why the Most High don't give us the spirit of fear. He said, don't be afraid, neither doubt. For the Most High is your guide and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, said the Most High Power. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins. You know, destruction to you that's bound with your sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. It is left undressed and is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. Come on, you better understand. That's the last thing else was left us with, man. That's why you have to, as much as you can, try your best to follow, as he told us this here, Ecclesiastes 12. Because I got to get out of here. Ecclesiastes 12, and I'll praise the Most High about so much. I was said 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter for everything that we have said tonight. Fear the Most High. Better be that fear me to be afraid, be scared of the Most High, that you do what he say do, and keep his commandments. You know? Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. To fear the Most High and keep his commandments is the whole duty of man. For the Most High shall bring every work, everything we do in this mortal bodies, into judgment. And that work is dealing with Exodus 18 and 20. Man, it's pretty shiny. Exodus 18 and 20. It's a work. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shall show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. That's keeping the laws of the Most High. Point blank, that's the work you got to do. No more, no less, y'all. So that's why it says, Ecclesiastes 12, 13, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High, be afraid, be scared of the Most High, and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good. We know what's good, y'all. Romans 7 and 12. Commandment is holy, the laws are holy and just and good. Whether it be good, whether you kept the commandments of the Most High, or whether it be evil, and not doing what the Most High tell us to do, his rules and regulations. So that's a conclusion of the whole matter. Give me a like, all of you that haven't. It don't cost much. I don't support financially or anything, so you can just take your finger and push that like, and if you like to hit the Cash App up, $ 123 if you feel like you've been reached somewhere or another, because tell you to buy the truth, sell it not. So trust me, nobody in this truth we got to put out. That's what he told us, man. So understand this. And with that, I say, Kwam Most High, Kwam Mashiach Yahushai, and Kwam Yasharella forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll be on at 1:30. Street teaching and highly weird. Shalom.